car, at work, or with your kids, no matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6814. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6814. 800-575-6814. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Treasure this summer at Funplex, Nebraska's largest water park and rides. Rush down a towering drop slide, race for first place in the go-karts, or maybe float your cares away on the lazy river. Hungry? We've got treats, eats, and even private cabanas to kick back and chill. And don't miss the all-new Shipwreck Chutes, dual slides with twisty turns and our biggest splash yet. Bring the whole crew and treasure this summer at Funplex. Get tickets now at fun-plex.com.
KOZ and Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone. This is a special presentation of 1620 The Zone and the 1620 The Zone mobile app. This special edition hour of the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone is presented by Union Bank and Trust. No matter where life takes you, you can always feel good about banking with UBT. Member FDIC. This special edition of the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone is live at the Omaha Baseball Village. Powered by Access Bank. Here for a reason. Yours. And Children's Nebraska. Here are your hosts for today's broadcast, Josh Peterson and Matt McMaster on 1620 The Zone.
Wow, would you look at that? And Jimmy, I can hear myself in my headphones. We are off to a great start. I'm just going to take off my headphones. Welcome in. We are powered by Access Bank. Here for a reason. Yours, and by Children's Nebraska. Matt McMaster, why don't you talk so then you can hear yourself coming back into your headphones?
I can no longer hear myself coming back into my headphones. We are all
now
good
we're cooking.
To go.
Now we are cooking.
As my co-host would say, we're cooking with peanut oil.
Welcome into a special edition of the Connor Happer Show, and Connor is right in front of us.
Look at that beautiful man.
This is absolutely glorious.
He's got his bucket hat. He's got his Pit Viper sunglasses.
He's
he
looking
looks like
good.
An AAU baseball dad.
Wow.
Who's about to yell at his son for striking out 3 times.
You think Happer is going to be a yeller? Yeller kind of dad?
No, I think he's going to be yeller in the car, right?
Nice. Hour 1 presented by Union Bank and Trust. No matter where life takes you, you can always feel good about banking with UBT. Member FDIC. Josh Peterson and Matt McMaster. For the first time together, people have been coming up to me, Matt, tears in their eyes. Sir, when will you host with Matt? They're finally getting their answer. It's today, tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, if necessary, and then next Sunday as well.
I was going to say this is like The Rock versus John Cena, once in a lifetime, but I didn't know we were going to be doing this in 9 days together.
Don't understand that reference.
Okay, it's okay. We're a lot of references are going to go over your head, and we're going to figure it out.
We're going to learn about each other together over the course of the next 9 days.
Do you want to hold hands while we host the show? Whoa!
Wow. All right, well, we're off to a tremendous start here at the – this is the first time we've actually done one of these shows ever before from the Omaha Baseball Village. We have a great show upcoming, though, as long as the microphones will work, which we're hoping that they will. Our good friend Steve Sipple joins us a little earlier in the Connor Happer Show than normal. He'll join us at the bottom of the hour.
Oh, how?
You just talked to him yesterday.
I did.
So you got to come up with some fresh questions for him.
Well, he dropped Manchester, England, and Cambodia. He said, and I quote, it's like being a rice picker in Cambodia.
Excellent.
In reference to working with Coach Matt Rule.
Uh-huh.
And then he said something about Manchester, England that I totally forgot. It was a full Stephen M. Sipple interview yesterday, which we is he going to be in person or is it going to be?
No, he doesn't visit Omaha anymore. He used to drive to Omaha. He used to actually do some of these shows. Yeah, I used to have arguments with him about will Scott Frost succeed or fail at Nebraska from this very spot?
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah,
That sounds
it was a great time.
It was a great time.
I came out on top. I just want everybody to know that. I was correct.
You know what?
If he was wrong.
If you ask anybody, everybody came out on top when it came to that argument.
Yeah. Well, except for the ones who didn't. Except for the ones who were like, no, he can get it done.
At some point, though, people did transition into, well, I knew this the whole time.
After the Georgia Southern loss in 2022. Yeah.
It was like, well, if you really peeled back the curtain, you knew that this was something that was going to develop. This was something that was going to happen. Trev should write a book, is what some people said.
Well, don't worry. Bill Moose is apparently writing a book.
I cannot wait for that, which I believe Stephen M. Sipple is helping.
He at least is. He's given us the scuttlebutt before. Maybe we can ask him about that. So Sipple will join us at the bottom of the hour.
I think he is going to love talking about the Bill Moose book for the next couple of months. That is going to be his favorite topic.
One of our great friends from Cross Drain Brewing, Jeff Hardy, is going to stop by. They got their 4th annual Dingerville going on. Matt apparently is challenging himself to mosey his way around and have a beer throughout all sorts of spots. May we recommend Dingerville as one of those spots to hit the next week?
Well, I am a massive fan of Cross Drain Brewing. In particular, the Fairy Nectar beer, which I think is pound for pound might be my favorite beer. This is not me kissing butt to our sponsor.
Yeah, they're not even here right now.
I do think the Fairy Nectar beer might be one of the best beers ever.
It's very, very good. It's won awards.
It's got hops, but it's got the sweetness, but it also has the bite of the IPA.
Yep.
But I need to ask, what are the other beers from Cross Drain?
Oh, they have many beers.
I know they have
many
but
beers.
I feel like I've only ever drank Miller Lite in my life, and I feel like I'm not allowing other light beers to get some shine. I feel the same way about.
Well, they have their own version of a light beer, and it might be available at Dingerville. So we can talk about that with Jeff Hardy at the bottom of the 11 o'clock hour. Odd news rolls on. You do.
Yes,
hopefully,
you do.
Hopefully the microphone works later when we're doing odd news. So we'll see if we can figure that part out.
By the way, Josh is going to get this, but you won't. I'm really holding myself back from making any Jeff Hardy jokes. Jeff Hardy, the wrestler jokes.
Okay. Wow. That's 2 wrestling references in the first 6 minutes.
Better get used to it, brother.
Yeah, this isn't what I was hoping for.
The problem is that Josh extenuates it out of me. I see Josh here.
And you think wrestling?
And I think wrestling.
Interesting.
Because that's how we've become friends.
Wow.
Talking about pro wrestling.
All right. So how will you and I become friends? That is the question. That is the question, and that is also the answer. So I have only spent time with Matt pretty much one time. We had beers with Happer one night back in, December or January. We got to know each other.
Yes.
And that was the first time we broke bread together or cracked open beers.
I bought all your beers.
It was very kind of you that night.
I think you're the only person I've bought beers since for.
Oh, wow.
Well, I'm saving money, man. You gotta save in this economy.
You do have to save money. You do have to save money.
People beers.
Otherwise, I just see you at the office sometimes. And so, I know that you have takes. I know that you're a Chicago guy. I know some of the things that you think. But I am going to use every show, certainly all of the 10 to 1240 shows over the next week and change, as a way for me to get to know you, but also our audience get to know you. People coming in and out. You know how it is. Some people only listen in the morning. Some people only listen in the afternoon.
That was very Chicago of you over there, by the way. Coming in and out.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm fitting in already.
The O took the A
real quick. Interesting.
So I think I'm rubbing off on Gary Sharp because
Gary. I don't usually do that with John.
Gary is very smooth.
Yeah.
Like a good talker. Mm-hmm. He's now stuttering, though, from time to time.
Because of you?
Because of me. Because it's just my stuttering is contagious still.
Do we give you credit or do we place blame? What are we doing for that?
Almost always.
Yes. Yeah, pretty much. So I will do that. I'm going to ask a question of Matt every single day. And today's question will be about football. So we'll do that. We're actually going to do that in our next segment. We'll talk a little bit about the NBA Finals Game 4. The hockey was great last night.
It was.
Going into overtime when it looked like it wasn't going to go into overtime.
I went to sleep before
classic.
the OT.
Classic morning show kind of move.
No, actually not. I am very well known for not going to bed until 12:30.
Well, why didn't you stay up till 12:30?
Because
we had
the show today.
Yeah, you didn't just have the 4 hours.
No.
You had the 4 hours and the 3 hours and then the in-between hours.
Because right about now, I would be at the driving range.
Oh, wow.
Well, no, I would be doing a crossover.
Be doing the crossover. Yeah.
Then I would be at the driving range. Then I would take my hour and 42-minute nap.
There you go.
And then I would wake up and then I would just do my day. But now I'm going to be with you.
You're going to be with me?
And Monster Energy is going to be my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be great. I'm excited for it.
the goal that tied it at the end of the third period, I had a feeling if I could have bet, Matt, in the exact moment when the goalie didn't clear it, if I could have bet in that moment they're going to score and tie this one up, I would have placed at least $25 down on it.
My thing is, like, I can't stand goalies who play the puck too much.
Oh, wow.
Because I played – you may not know this, but I played hockey for a very long time.
Yeah, you tweeted a video recently.
Yes.
I saw that video. You scored a goal or something.
Scored a goal.
Congrats.
By the way, that was feeding into – I knew that if I posted video highlights of me playing high school hockey, that it would make it on the air the next day.
Yeah.
And anything to clear segments and to have just more segments
especially
in the summer.
In May and June.
Exactly. So I knew that G-Sharp, who's always on Twitter, would see it and that we would talk about it. That we did. I also thought it was great. I wanted Connor Happer to respond with high school highlights of his own. Yeah. Because
he was a pitcher.
I know he's got to have a couple.
Played college ball. Well, I mean, we're older than you. We don't, it might have been recorded on
Huddle wasn't existing back then?
Barely. Not
what
was
like that for Connor Happer? That couldn't have been. That would have been like 2012.
I mean, Happer graduated in like 2010.
From college?
From high school.
Oh, okay.
Well, he only played college ball for like a season, and then he's
got to have one strikeout on high school highlight. Everybody gets one high school highlight. Do you have any high school highlights from what'd you do in high school?
Ran cross country, ran track. I ran a sub 5 minute mile.
Wow.
Yeah.
5:15.
Not to brag.
5:15.
4:55. Actually did it again last summer too. Not to brag. Wow. Just stating facts.
You have some good pictures though of like you running.
No, not from high school. Now recently I got awesome photos.
No,
from me.
recently.
Yeah, I spent $100 on the Boston Marathon photos.
Really?
Oh yeah.
It's like Disneyland.
Oh yeah.
Where they like take the picture for you and then you got to pick it.
Well, no, but you get 100 of them. So I have a lot of photos. Now I look really tired in a lot of them.
I don't need 100 photos.
Well, I wanted them, but I spent $100 and I probably got like 6 really killer photos. So I'll take it. I'll take 6 killer photos for $100.
That does not sound appeasing to me.
Well,
I know that's my reality.
Yeah, I'll never run it. Well, I won't never run it again. I don't know when I'll run Boston again, so I'll always have these photos to look back on.
You're not?
It's just expensive.
Oh, well, expensive. Yeah, you were out there for a week, right? And then I bet.
And the race itself cost $250.
And then
just to run it.
And then the hotel.
Yeah, and we didn't even stay in Boston. We stayed a half hour away from Boston in a place called Woburn.
You do the Chicago Marathon yet?
Only 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah,
Great one, right?
Yeah, that's where I qualified for Boston the first time.
Okay, you got to qualify at Chicago.
No. I ran Chicago because I raised money for St. Jude.
Oh, that's
great. But I do have again, this is not bragging. Just
sure. No, this is me learning.
I have a qualifying time that I can get in Chicago pretty much every year. So, which is pretty sweet.
That is pretty sweet.
It's a great marathon. I love Chicago.
I think I'll run it one day.
You should.
Not like. I'll obviously train for it because I don't want to be like you
don't want to cramp out there. Yeah.
No. I mean that's out, but I do want to see because you do run through parts of the city that sometimes you otherwise wouldn't really be able to like understand the sights or the history of it. Everybody's always down there. There's so much traffic.
Yeah, I always forget to look for the United Center, and I always run by it. And then my dad's like, "Hey, what was it like over by the United Center?" I'm like, "Oh, that's right. I forgot to look at it."
Summer, when you get by the United Center, you want to sprint.
That's the worst part of the marathon. It's so boring over there.
It's the worst part of the city.
Oh well, I mean, on a Sunday morning when I'm running a marathon,
yeah, you never know. Well, it is not that area.
You sound like people on my Twitter mention sometimes. Did you wear a bulletproof vest?
No, but that side, like where the United Center located, is definitely not the most like appeasing. And
I was focused on the gels getting in and out of my
body.
What
mile were you at that point?
Well, that's about a 20-ish, I think.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so I'm just totally
in grind time. At that point.
I'm just focused.
Just like don't die.
Yeah, and I'm not soaking in the atmosphere anymore. I'm just like get to the finish line.
When do you think the soaking stops?
I think that once you're a little past halfway, I think mile 15, 16, 17 is when
you're like,
when it's like
lock in.
Because at that point you've run 15 miles and you still have over 10. The first half of a marathon. What if you're someone like me who trains for it a lot, you can get by. But once you get past the halfway point, then it does start turning into all right. I did
17 miles in high school.
Nice.
And when I got
it's my favorite distance to run a long run. I love 17 miles.
Such a niche.
It's a great distance. It's a little over 2 hours for me. I'm having a great Sunday morning.
17.
Burn close to 2,000 calories.
My favorite distance was 8 miles.
Yeah?
I think 8 miles is perfect because if people don't get it, but if you run a lot, you get to a point where like 3 miles is nothing.
Oh yeah.
Like you're like, oh, I only have to run 3 miles, right? Which right now
I wouldn't go outside to run 3 miles. That's a waste of time.
I agree.
It's like I don't want to sweat for a 20-something minute run.
Which all these like running influencers, and you see them on Instagram, they only run like 4 miles, and part of me is like,
What are we doing here?
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, you got to, for me, and this is, I can't believe I'm gatekeeping running as
Look
like
at
a
this.
200-pound man
Yeah.
who hasn't run in like 5 years.
Nice,
But if you are going to like speak about running, your average time out, your average distance out to me has got to be like 8 to 9.
Wow. I say all runners welcome.
No.
All runners welcome. I am inclusive.
I agree.
Matt pushing people away.
No, I'm not pushing.
Running community, come on in.
Time out. I'm not pushing people away from running. I'm pushing people away from running who think they're like expert runners. If you're a long run,
it's like me if I go play golf once a year and then I try to be an expert at golf.
And you like shoot a 90. Okay,
well, that would be a great day for me.
Me too. But if like
I broke 100 3 times.
I've been breaking 100 it's been nice. But I've been playing. See, now I'm an adult and I have money and I have time.
Yeah,
I golf way too much.
Plus, you have that morning gig. I mean, that leads right into a great weekend.
What did I
golfing.
tell you where I would be?
Yep.
I'd probably be playing 18 today.
Wow.
But now I'm here, and I couldn't be happier.
Well,
I'm smiling through it all.
As we go to break, Venmo Chris texts in, and you can text us throughout the week, 402-951-1620. Wow, finally my first live Matt show. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Indeed.
What a time to be alive.
1620, the Zone's hydration sponsor is Coke Zero Sugar. Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Take a taste. Josh Peterson, Matt McMaster. We have Steve Sipple coming up at the bottom of the hour. We have Josh Hudson here. We have Jimmy Chavez back in our 1620 The Zone studio. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We'll be on until 12:40 today ahead of Game 1 of the Men's College World Series. Coastal Carolina and Arizona. 12:40 pregame. And first pitch just after 1 o'clock. So much more to come as we continue here from the Omaha Baseball Village next on 1620 The Zone.
Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill is West Omaha's headquarters for specialty pizzas and award-winning char-buffed wings. Enjoy games on their updated video and audio system and huge LED wall. Their main location on 173rd and Center is the perfect place to beat the heat with family and friends for the college baseball tournament. They also have a second carryout location at 162nd and West Maple Street, featuring the same great pizzas and wings. Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill, home of the Big O Pizza and award-winning char-buffed wings.
When it comes to protecting your home, Jay Stennett Contracting takes pride in ensuring every detail is handled. Roofing, siding, gutters. When it comes to the exterior of your home, Jay Stennett Contracting has you covered. Water, wind, and hail can wreak havoc on the exterior of your home. If your home is damaged, let Jay Stennett Contracting come out for a no-obligation inspection. If repairs are needed, they will help you through every step of the process. When you need an honest assessment, Jay Stennett Contracting has you covered. JSCRestoration.com.
If baseball and ice cream go together like fireworks in the 4th of July, I mean, on any given night during the summer, you're bound to run into a team of little leaguers getting ice cream after their game, win or lose. So before you head home after the game, head over to Ted and Wally's Ultra Premium Ice Cream and pick up your flavor. They serve more than 3,000 of them. Keep track of the daily specials on social media, celebrating more than 35 years. Ted and Wally's Ultra Premium Ice Cream. Benson, Old Market, and at tedandwallys.com.
Security equipment makes sure you're always safe at home or when you're away. SEI gives you time to focus on what really matters. Whether it's your home or business, we protect life and property with all of the latest Honeywell home and First Alert products by monitoring for security, fire, carbon monoxide, flood, and temperature 24/7, 365. We provide peace of mind by connecting services like security, video, automation, and access control in one system. Visit SEIsecurity.com to set up a free consultation. SEI is a First Alert Premier Pro partner.
The time between Memorial Day and Labor Day is known as the 100 Deadliest Days. It accounts for 37% of Nebraska's traffic fatalities. Sadly, 67 people lost their lives on Nebraskan roads during this time last year. Your children, significant others, parents, pets, and friends matter to you. Drive like they matter. Don't let a crash take you away from their lives. Always wear your seatbelt, keep your eyes on the road, and put your phone away. Brought to you by the Nebraska chapter of the National Safety Council and the Nebraska DOT Highway Safety Office.
IBEW Local 22 is hiring. Join a dynamic team offering opportunities in all classifications, low voltage, residential, and commercial. Whether you're an experienced journeyman or have no experience, they'll train you. Enjoy great pay, fully funded medical benefits, and a solid retirement plan. IBEW Local 22 is your gateway to a rewarding career in Omaha. Don't miss the chance to build your future. Call Mike at 402-810-0789. That's 402-810-0789.
Now through July 7th, take advantage of exclusive employee pricing at Woodhouse Ford. For a limited time, you pay what we pay on our full lineup of new Ford models. No exceptions, just straightforward savings. Whether you're looking for a rugged F-150, a versatile Bronco, or a dependable Escape, our friendly, knowledgeable staff are here to find the perfect vehicle for you. View our offers online or shop in-store at one of the Woodhouse Ford dealerships located in Blair, Omaha, and Plattsmouth.
Want the best summer send-off ever? 1620 The Zone has you covered. You could win ice cream for a year from Ted and Wally's Premium Ice Cream. 4 tickets to the Blue Moon Tap Room with parking for the Royals game on July 26th. A family 4-pack of passes to Adventureland and a $100 Hy-Vee gas card. Whew, that's one hell of a way to end your summer. Come see us at the Omaha Baseball Village and register for the 1620 The Zone road trip. Details on 1620thezone.com. Now back to the special edition of the Connor Happer Show, live from Omaha Baseball Village, powered by Children's Nebraska and Access Bank on 1620 The Zone.
Josh Peterson and Matt McMaster here at the Omaha Baseball Village, and a reminder that Country Fest is back at OBV. This Friday, OBV welcomes Walker Montgomery and special guest Casey Johns and Kimberly Meyer to the Beer Garden stage. This is an all-ages show. Get your tickets at OmahaBaseballVillage.com. And this hour is presented by Union Bank and Trust. No matter where life takes you, you can always feel good about banking with UBT, member FDIC. Josh Peterson, Matt McMaster. We got Otson here as well. Otson will be checking in on the YouTube chat for us because if I opened up StreamYard, I think my computer would melt. So I'm going to ask Josh to help us out, maybe read some comments throughout the show today. I did mention it in the first segment, Matt, that we're going to use these shows to get to know one another, and the audience can get to know you as well. I did want to mention this. We're also going to do something every day as we get ready for college football season called College Football Summer School. He has the Athlon Mag. Today, we're going to look at 3 teams in the Big Ten Conference. What is the biggest game of the season for them? So if you're ready for some sickos college football content, we got you covered here on special editions of the Connor Happer Show.
We are the 2 sickos.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was telling you the break. I was reading OTA reports.
You were. And so this is a great entry point into our first Get to Know Matt segment of the day.
Sure.
So here is my first question for you. And you're probably thinking, is he going to ask me about, my favorite sports memory? Or is he going to ask me something about when I was 13? No, Matt. First question, is being a Bears fan more or less depressing than being a Cowboys fan?
Oh, less.
It's a great question, isn't it?
It's a great question. I would argue more.
More depressing.
And the reason why I would say more is
you've never had a quarterback?
You've had good quarterback play.
Yeah.
Okay. You've had Aikman. Yeah. I mean, I know that Staubach, you weren't alive for that.
Yeah, I'm not an old head like my father. No
Aikman and even Romo, I would kill to have a quarterback.
It's the
like
nicest
Romo.
thing anyone has ever said to me about Tony
Romo.
Romo
Would be by far, bar none, the greatest Chicago Bears quarterback ever.
That's wild.
He, not even close.
I know.
By the way. It wouldn't even be an argument.
Yeah, exactly.
He above and beyond.
Yeah.
And also he played at Eastern Illinois. Go Cougs. They call that the Harvard of the Midwest.
Sean Payton went there too, right?
Sean Payton went there, and Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
And the current head coach of the Notre Dame College Prep Fighting Dons, Dan DeFranza.
Definitely. I knew that guy
Everybody
too.
knows about Dan DeFranza.
Oh, yeah.
No, but I would say the fact also too, and my producer, Jimmy Chavez, who's back in the studio helping us out.
Sadly, a Cowboys fan as well.
Is a Cowboys fan. I have this conversation with him man, you had 3 12-win seasons in a row. I've never had back-to-back 12-win seasons ever. I've actually only ever had one time in my life where there was a back-to-back 10-win season.
Wow. When was that? What years were those?
It was 2010 and 2011.
So the NFC Championship
and
year.
Then the next year they went 10-6 and they missed the playoffs.
They missed the playoffs because that was a tough year in the NFC.
That was a terrible year in the NFC.
The stupid Giants won the Super Bowl.
And then also I believe during that year, I think the next year they were really good, and then that's when Cutler broke his thumb. If I'm not
2012?
In 2012.
Yeah.
And then that kind of began the cycle of like, all right, what are we doing? And then we went through like the Matt Barkley year.
Bad.
We had a Josh McCown year sprinkled
Bad.
in that.
You had Mark Trestman as your coach.
We had Mark
eventually.
Trestman as the coach. We had at one point we thought that Tyler Brate was going to be the guy. We can't forget about signing Mike Glennon to a big deal, thinking Mike Glennon was going to be our quarterback.
With his neck.
Then that year, we draft Mitch Trubisky 4 weeks later after paying Mike Glennon $18 million.
Nice.
Trubisky becomes the quarterback, and then John Fox refuses to throw the ball with Trubisky.
All that to say, you've had a lot of bad times.
I've just never had consistently good football in my life. Only one time in my life has my team made back-to-back playoffs.
That's crazy.
Or no. It wasn't even back-to-back because we made it in 2018. And then I think we missed.
You missed it in 2019,
and then we made it in 2020.
Yeah. For the record, I think that your answer is correct, even though in my lifetime
you've had a lot of pain.
Yes, because I've never seen the Cowboys play in the NFC Championship game.
Exactly.
You're 23, so do you remember the Super Bowl year?
I do. So actually,
and then you would have then remembered the NFC Championship.
You're going to learn a lot about me.
Yeah. Oh, that's
this
the goal.
This is my screensaver.
Okay, is that 06?
That is the 06 Super Bowl. That is
Okay.
the night of 06.
Uh-huh.
And then if you look at my lock screen here on my phone, I have to because I have way too many apps. I'm not very organized.
Sure.
This is a picture of Brian Urlacher holding up the Hallis Trophy after beating the New Orleans Saints. So actually, my lock screen, my entire phone is based off of 2006.
That one season.
Which you could argue was probably the greatest year of my life.
And you were like 5?
I was 4.
4 years old.
I was actually,
You don't want to peak as a fan as a 4-year-old.
But man, 4 was great. Like I was going to preschool. I didn't have any responsibilities. Seriously.
You didn't have bills?
I didn't have bills. I didn't have responsibilities.
Uh-huh.
I got literally whatever I wanted. My mom cooked pretty good food for me.
Venmo Chris says, from a Packer fan perspective, I can say without a doubt that the Bears are down way worse. It's almost to a point where I've started to feel bad for them. Now, let me.
I hate that, by the way.
Let me make an argument that the Cowboys, it's slightly worse than being a Bears fan, even though you hit on it. The quarterback component to this makes being a Bears fan really miserable for the history of the franchise, not even for the last 20 years. But at least in your division, you personally, you remember the Packers winning the Super Bowl, but otherwise your rivals have not won Super Bowls. Famously, the Vikings are failures in the postseason. Famously, the Lions didn't make the postseason until recently.
Sure.
Meanwhile, in my lifetime, I have seen the Giants win 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And lately now, my least favorite team, the Eagles, have won 2, including last year, as my wife is giddy and dancing around the living room, and my hamstring is pulled, and I'm sad. And I go and lay in bed and watch Andor.
Okay, so a couple of things here. First off, there was a 10-6 year. There was an 11-5 year in 2010. Then we went 8-8. Then we went 10-6. So I actually have never really remembered having a back-to-back winning season. Okay,
and you're right. I did have the 3 12-win seasons in a row recently.
Yes, you did.
But God,
here
the
you've been
playoff
blue
failures were
You've
so
been
bad.
blue-balled.
Yes.
You've been blue-balled.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's what it is. You've been blue-balled. Yeah. And I told Jimmy, I said, the year you guys lost to the Packers at home, like that year though,
Depressing
I thought you could have won the Super Bowl.
I did
that
too.
year. And then also too. One of the biggest
won a playoff game.
One of the biggest what ifs that we don't talk about in the NFL is what if Dak gets down quicker and they're able to spike the ball and get the field goal against the
49. Well, they needed a touchdown, so they had to.
They had to.
But you're right. If they go down, like
at least
they could. They're like the 20-something yard line.
So wow, you have been you definitely. We both have been befuddled.
We have. We're handshake meme.
We
Sadness.
are kind of. Now I will push back against this.
Okay.
The whole the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. Like I get that. I understand that. But I do want to say 2011.
Okay.
So
you talking about your team or my team?
My
now?
team.
Okay.
2011, the Bears. So sorry, it would have been 2010, the 2011 Super Bowl, right? Because that's how we got the 2010 season, 2011 Super Bowl. The Bears are 11-5. They've won the division. Okay, the division is locked up.
Yeah.
The Green Bay Packers need to win in Week 17.
I remember this.
In order to make the playoffs.
Yes.
I went to that game.
Oh, no.
My father and I was 9 years old at the time. We went to Lambeau. We were right behind.
You went to Lambeau?
We went to Lambeau.
Wow, shout out.
Wearing our NFC North champion hoodies.
Okay, that's
we were letting everybody know, hey, we're the guys.
Yeah.
We're the guys.
Yeah.
All right?
And
like we don't care but at the end of the day, who won the North, right?
Yeah.
So we go there. Jay Cutler throws like kind of a pseudo Hail Mary at the end of the game. Devin Hester doesn't get his arms up. It's picked off. Game's over. Worst day of my life. Packers then go on to win
the Super Bowl.
And in doing so, they beat the Bears
in the NFC Championship
at home.
But at least you had that NFC North T-shirt.
I don't even know where it is. But Caleb Haney made an appearance in that. Everybody forgets about Caleb Haney.
People do forget about Caleb Haney. You know what they don't forget, though? That we are powered by Access Bank, here for a reason yours, and by Children's Nebraska. When we return, Steve Sipple will join us. He of HuskerOnline.com. We can talk about a variety of subjects with him as we get ready for day one of the 75th Men's College World Series here in Omaha, Nebraska. Stop on by, say hi. You can register to win great prizes and a whole lot more. Josh Peterson and Matt McMaster continue next from the Omaha Baseball Village here on 1620 The Zone.
At Rotella's Italian Bakery, they put unsurpassed product quality into everything they bake. Old world skill and experience are masterfully blended with modern efficiencies to create the delicious breads, rolls, hamburger and hot dog buns, and other specialty products that have delighted their customers since 1921. Combining customer satisfaction with uncompromising quality is their goal. Rotella's Italian Bakery, a century of pride in every slice. To see the full menu of products, visit rotellasbakery.com.
When your athlete is giving their all, you want them to have every advantage. KRT Athletic Muscle Cream helps warm up muscles, stop cramps in minutes, and speeds up muscle recovery. KRT is WADA compliant, hormone-free, backed by science, and used by college and pro athletes. The game never stops, and neither should your athletes. KRT Athletic Muscle Cream. Stay in the game. Visit krtrelief.com to get yours today.
Are you ready for this? Omaha Baseball Village is celebrating 15 years of excitement and 75 years of baseball in Omaha, and it's going to be legendary. Limited edition OBV gear awaits you at the Game Headwear tent. Plus, swing by for your chance to win 4 Yankees tickets, thanks to Stilla Olson Foundation. But hurry, these celebrations won't last forever. Join us where tradition meets fun and make unforgettable memories. Omaha's love for baseball runs deep, and at OBV, it's the ultimate baseball party. Omaha Baseball Village, 13th and Cass.
Attention baseball fans, are you ready for the ultimate college baseball experience? The series is back in Omaha, and Tickets for Less is your home whether you're looking to buy or sell your tickets. With Tickets for Less, you can buy and sell tickets 3 ways. Go to ticketsforless.com to find out more. Shop the best seats at the best prices with no service fees. And save now with promo code THEZONE at ticketsforless.com. Ticketsforless.com is not an official ticket reseller of the NCAA Men's College World Series.
An estimated 80% of Americans aren't getting their recommended daily amount of physical activity. It's time to move and keep moving, America. And when you need help, physical therapists and physical therapist assistants are by your side. Be your own champion. Choose more movement. Choose better health. Choose physical therapy. Find out more information and a physical therapist at choosept.com/NE. Brought to you by the American Physical Therapy Association of Nebraska.
He thinks bean counting is an iPhone app. He is the most uninteresting man in the world.
Hi, I'm Bob Berger. Don't just get your taxes done, get them managed. If you're tired of losing sleep over your business and personal taxes, you're ready to make more money, give us a call.
Call Berger, Elliott, and Pritchard CPAs at 402-551-1919 or visit bepcpa.com.
It's time to make a game plan for game day parking. During big events, curbside parking in Omaha has a higher event rate. So save money for peanuts and Cracker Jack by parking in a garage or surface lot. You can even reserve an off-street parking space days, hours, or minutes in advance with the Park mobile app. Learn more about where to park and how to pay at parkomaha.com.
This season, step up to the plate with exceptional offers at Woodhouse Ford. For a limited time, you pay what we pay with exclusive employee pricing on the full lineup of award-winning vehicles. From the built-tough F-150 to the versatile Bronco, It's your chance to drive home a new Ford with a deal that truly knocks it out of the park. View inventory and our exclusive offers online, or visit Woodhouse Ford at our 3 locations in Blair, Omaha, and Plattsmouth.
Now back to the special edition of the Connor Happer Show, live from Omaha Baseball Village, powered by Children's Nebraska and Access Bank on 1620 The Zone.
This special edition of the Connor Happer Show is powered by Access Bank, here for a reason, yours, and by Children's Nebraska. And let's go to our special edition Zone Hotline, which is powered by the Sidoro Law Group. Your outcome depends on what you do next. And where do we go but to our friend Steve Sipple. Hello, Sip. How are you?
Okay, I'm fine. What's going on? Where are you? What's going on right
Well, it's the College World Series, Sip. It's the 75th time that it's been here in Omaha, Nebraska, the Diamond Anniversary, and I'm hanging out with Matt McMaster today. Sip?
No. Wow, too young.
Steven.
Either he is just so blown away. Oh, there you are.
Oh, no, now he's gone.
Oh, am I still there?
No,
you're still there, Sip.
You're here, Steven.
Two young, energetic, up-and-coming radio personalities. Josh, writer personality now. Interesting.
Not trying to take your corner, Sip. Hey, Sip, we were having a discussion in our previous segment, and I want to ask you this. Do you think it is better to have loved and had your heart broken, or to have never been loved at all?
Oh, for sure to have love. I mean,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, heartbreak is awful.
Yeah.
Especially the first few times. you start to
you start to get tired of it?
Well, I mean, I would just counsel you guys, Matt, have a sense of humor throughout the whole thing. That's the most critical element.
And to be fair, that was about sports fandom and watching a team that succeeds but then loses in the playoffs.
I thought it was about life.
No, it was about me being a Cowboys fan.
And me being a Bears fan.
Yeah.
Okay, so the question, let me think, see how it would apply to that.
Would you rather, here's the best way to put it, would you rather make the playoffs and lose in heart-crushing fashion consistently, or would you rather
be a Lions fan?
Yeah, would you rather never make the playoffs?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know. No. You want to be in the Cowboys. You never want to back a team that never does anything and then kind of like bask in that, in being cautious. No, God, that's it. That's why I used to hate the Cubs with a passion growing up.
Wow,
they're on my childhood TV every day, and they're terrible. But the stadium was always full because there was a cute little cubby. It made me want to vomit. I was just like, God, this is what people follow. Okay,
Steve, isn't it worse though? Because the Cubs and Bears are similar in the fact that they would back into good seasons every 5 years. Randomly, they would be really good and they would get your hopes up hey, we're turning the corner, and then they would be back to bad a year later.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't have as much familiarity with the Bears because they weren't on my TV every day in my childhood.
Sure, good point.
But it didn't seem like the Cubs were backing into anything. I mean, they were just bad and everybody knew it and they're okay with it, which made them repulsive.
Totally fine with it. It was a good write-off. Hey, Steve, I pride myself on asking you pretty good questions, but admittedly, I'm going to ask you a pretty bad one here. So
awesome.
Just, if you want to give me just a little bit of grace, and we'll get back to me asking you some journalistic questions. But when you leave the house, right, you're a phone, wallet, keys guy, I take it?
Oh, God, yeah. Really OCD.
So Dylan Raiola was wearing a satchel. So your best guess, what other things would Dylan have to be carrying in that satchel other than his phone, wallet, and keys?
What do kids carry?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. You are connected with the youth.
You are.
No, he talks to more high schoolers than I do.
I don't know what grandkids would carry.
Sure.
I don't know if he has glasses. Maybe it carries glasses.
Good point.
Dylan might wear glasses.
Okay.
Maybe wads of cash.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm joking.
Well, and I think that's your best guess. That and like chapstick, right? That's got to be the next
card.
one. End card is a good one. That's a great one, Josh.
Yeah, gotta have your end card. Wow.
Key
Didn't think
fob.
we'd be talking
Put
about
the
key
fob.
fob.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Always
Yeah.
important to
There's
have a key
enough.
fob.
I mean, I've
Bottle opener.
contemplated. I've said it many times to
Can't
people.
be ashy.
You have to carry around so much stuff that I'm very supportive of his satchel. I mean, I have a book bag that it's like my computer bag, but I keep a lot in it, which it's not that much different. It just doesn't. He doesn't have a computer.
Yeah,
I have always. Go ahead, Josh.
No, you go. No, go ahead.
That was Matt that interrupted, by the way. Don't put that on me.
Go ahead. I like where this is going.
I'm just saying that I'm always kind of astounded every day when I walk out how much stuff I have to carry. So I'm not surprised that the youth, or not even the youth, just guys have tried to come up with sleek ways to carry all the stuff they have to carry.
Steve Sipple, Husker Online, joining us here on the show, a special edition of the Connor Happer Show. Sip, I know one of the things that has kind of been a through line of this offseason for you, and Matt and I are going to talk about it a little bit later on in the show, is the pressure of the 2025 season. And I've been thinking about it a lot this week from the standpoint of the camp that they put on a week ago and how, like, this is a kind of put up or shut up season, not just for, hey, can Matt Rule do the year 3 thing like he's done at his other stops, but also what could that mean for parlaying into the recruiting class for 2026? How often is that on your mind? Just the whole thing of it all that is the 2025 football season and what it's going to mean for the future.
It's on my mind constantly. I mean, I think it's a good kind of pressure, though. It's a good kind of pressure in that we think they're pretty good, and they don't really run from that conversation. They don't, and the principals don't run from it, especially. And I'm talking about Matt Rule. He doesn't run from it.
No.
He doesn't bristle. He doesn't change the subject. He meets it head on, and Dylan does. I mean, I always tell you guys. I think I do anyway. The Dylan piece of this conversation to me is maybe even more important than the head coach conversation, because Dylan didn't come here to not make the playoff.
Yeah,
I mean, it's part of it's his objective is to push Nebraska very far along as a program, and that means into the playoff. If he leaves, whatever point he leaves, be it after his senior year or after next year, whatever, if they don't make the playoff, it is a resounding disappointment. I mean, for him. I mean, he's not here to say, you know what, we got to 7 and 6, and then we got to 8, and that's progress. No, that's not what the Raiola clan is after. So to me, a lot of it is about that, and then it branches off from there.
Steve, I think Troy Danon has the unenviable task of trying to decide what he's going to invest when it comes to rev share in terms of what sports, right? And there are a lot of, and so Oklahoma, kind of released their pie chart and were like, we're going to invest in 6 sports, and I think you could probably name 6 or 7 sports for Nebraska that you could invest into and that have pretty passionate fan bases that would be happy with the athletic department investing in them. Do you think that the lack of football success in turn has made more fans of other Nebraska sports?
Oh, I mean, my first thought on that is they've always been that way. I mean, they've always followed the other sport. So I don't know. Nebraska fans, and I missed the first part of your question, but I think I got the key part.
Sure, you got the key part.
I mean, I do have the benefit of having been around here since the mid-'80s.
Yeah.
No joke. I was going to school in 1986. And it's not a new phenomenon. You understand, it's not a new phenomenon at all for like the baseball venue to be jam-packed. or, for a lot of fans to show up at a softball game.
Mm-hmm.
Softball's a little different now because it's a little different discussion because of Jordy and what they're doing right now. But I've been following this stuff for years, and I've always been astounded by the level of support all of the sports get and from fans. And I don't know that it's changed that much, man.
Okay. No, I think that's a great answer. Because I ask you that question in part because I know that you've seen the development. You've seen.
Oh, I've seen remarkable crowds going back to Terry Pettit when he was the volleyball coach. That's not a recent phenomenon.
Sure.
They used to pack the Coliseum, and it was wild. So I'm going back to, Terry Pettit. I'm going back to the late '90s. 26 years ago.
Wow.
There's a huge volleyball following. Then baseball, going back to Dave Van Horn. So I'm going back to the late '90s again. Huge baseball following, packed. And I'm not even talking about the new stadium. I'm talking about Buck Belzer. Crowds, unbelievable crowds. Now, a lot of that was because of the surge of the program under Dave Van Horn, but then it continued. I mean, they're not even very good right now at baseball. And if you went to if you went to one of the home series, one of the Big Ten series, you would have seen a stadium that was pretty full.
Yeah.
So that's recent, but that's always.
Steve Sipple, HuskerOnline.com. Sip, thank you very much for moving off the normal time on a Friday so you could join us. Have a awesome weekend.
How long are you guys on the air today?
We'll be on until 12:40, and then we're going to be on in between the games later on.
Okay, I'll catch I'm interested in the young guy dynamic, so I'll check it out about noon.
Thanks,
Awesome.
Sip.
Thank
Appreciate
you, Sip.
you,
Have a great weekend.
All right, see you later.
Bye-bye. That is Steve Sipple of HuskerOnline.com. Come by the Zone booth inside of the Omaha Baseball Village for some chewy granola bars from Sunbelt Bakery. Let's go. Yeah. Sunbelt Bakery, chewy granola bars, tastiest flavors under the sun. And this hour is presented by Union Bank and Trust. No matter where life takes you, you can always feel good about banking with UBT. Member FDIC. We have some responses to our Bears discussion. Talk a little NBA Finals Game 4 as well as we wrap up this hour from the Omaha Baseball Village. Josh Peterson and Matt McMaster here on 1620 The Zone.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Cubby's in the Old Market is your tailgate and baseball party headquarters. Cold beer and a full liquor department. Pop, ice, and Cubby's bottled water. Plus hot coffee and fresh and hot breakfast every morning. Cubby's Old Market, 13th and Jackson has it all for every baseball fan. Get everything for the grill from the full meat department. Chester's Chicken, Godfather's Pizza Express, hot and fresh deli food. Cubby's at the corner of 13th and Jackson. Open 24 hours. Cubby's for the very best in convenience.
Ready to hit your financial goals out of the park? Bankers Trust at 192nd and Dodge offers a full suite of banking products and tools just for you. Experience high-touch, personalized service in personal banking, lending, and wealth management. Swing by the new location or visit bankerstrust.com to learn more. Your financial future is at bat, and Bankers Trust is here to help you hit a home run. Experience the Bankers Trust difference today.
What has cancer taught me?
The sky is pink at sunrise.
Brave does not mean stoic.
Friends will fill your freezer.
And that I have the academic specialists, the clinical trial options, the level of personalized care.
I couldn't have gotten anywhere else.
Nebraska Medicine, Fred and Pamela Buffett Cancer Center.
Because at the end of the day, I want the best chance to be here for tomorrow.
Get a second opinion at nebraskamed.com/cancer.
Got diamonds, gold, coins, fine watches. At Saul's Jewelry and Loan, we buy it all. Any size diamond, scrap or broken jewelry, estate jewelry, gold, platinum, collectible, and pre-1964 coins, even bullion, silver flatware, and silver sets. With 6 metro locations open 7 days a week, no appointment necessary, and immediate payment, it's no wonder why more people choose Saul's, because we pay more. Saul's Jewelry and Loan, where you get more.
It's time to make a game plan for game day parking. During big events, curbside parking in Omaha has a higher event rate. So save money for peanuts and Cracker Jack by parking in a garage or surface lot. You can even reserve an off-street parking space days, hours, or minutes in advance with the Park mobile app. Learn more about where to park and how to pay at parkomaha.com.
Want the best summer send-off ever? 1620 The Zone has you covered. You could win ice cream for a year from Ted and Wally's Premium Ice Cream. 4 tickets to the Blue Moon Tap Room with parking for the Royals game on July 26th. A family 4-pack of passes to Adventureland and a $100 Hy-Vee gas card. Whew, that's one hell of a way to end your summer. Come see us at the Omaha Baseball Village and register for the 1620 The Zone road trip. Details on 1620thezone.com.
The hot, humid weather is coming, but if you call Patera Landscaping today, you can be relaxing in your crystal clear swimming pool this summer. Patera's design team will expertly craft and install your stunning pool that your family and friends will enjoy this summer and for years to come. Enjoy baseball, cookouts, and your perfect swimming pool from Patera this summer. Go to PateraLandscaping.com. For pool design, outdoor living, and landscaping, call Patera.
Now back to the special edition of the Connor Happer Show, live from Omaha Baseball Village, powered by Children's Nebraska and Access Bank on 1620 The Zone.
Come by the Zone booth inside of the Omaha Baseball Village and register to win ice cream for a year from Ted Wally's. Ted Wally's official ice cream of 1620 The Zone, celebrating more than 35 years with over 3,000 flavors. Benson and the Old Market, Omaha, and we are powered by Access Bank, here for a reason, yours, and by Children's Nebraska. Josh Peterson and Matt McMaster on this special edition of the Connor Happer Show. We'll have Jeff Hardy from Cross Train stopping by.
Can't wait.
At the bottom of the 11 o'clock hour. Before that, though, Matt, we got an email from Benoit.
What did Benoit say?
Well, Benoit ain't happy. It begins with,
wow,
you young fool.
Oh, no.
I thought of Gandalf. You fool. Fly, you fool.
I have to watch those movies.
Would have expected you, especially Matt, to do your homework. Sid Luckman was the greatest Bears quarterback of all time. Not debatable. 4 NFL championships, 5 All-Pro seasons, 1 MVP. Don't give me the different game argument. The players play the game they are born into. If they are great against their peers and in their era, they are great. Luckman definitely greater than Romo. It could be argued that Jim McMahon also greater than Romo. McMahon had a relatively short career, but got the Super Bowl ring in 85.
All right. So, couple of things. First off, the whole don't give me the different game argument. So you're telling me don't use the argument that makes the most sense. Because it doesn't fit his argument.
Yeah.
Tony Romo would have 10 NFL championships
If he was playing back then.
If he was playing back then.
That was what, the 40s?
Yeah, I mean, look. In relativeness, yes. People have this debate all the time. It's actually a great July Bears radio topic of Cutler versus Luckman.
Because, they do that? That's like the LeBron versus MJ for Bears fans.
Well, it's insufferable. It's insufferable because there's no right answer. Because you're just going in circles and you're just wasting time. Yeah. But Tony Romo would have 10 NFL championships. And Jim McMahon, he got carried by the greatest defense of all time.
That's a bad take. I'm not going to argue.
And by the way, not only the greatest defense of all time, the greatest running back of all time.
There you go. I'm not gonna. I think Barry Sanders.
I'm gonna stick with my guy.
I'm not gonna be able to have a discussion with you about Sid Luckman if you're gonna say that he is
I would ask Benoit, have you seen Sid Luckman visually play football ever? Nice. Because I haven't.
No, me neither.
Exactly. So
I'm not studying the Luckman tape.
No.
Maybe I'll do that during game
I
one
was studying Dane Raiola tape today, though.
Were you?
Breaks. I was.
Wow.
It's a lot of roll left throw deep.
Well, he is a lefty. Maybe during the Coastal Carolina-Arizona game today.
We can break down Sid Luckman.
Yeah, we'll see what, and I can't wait to hear the announcer. Yeah, that's a bad take.
Oh my God!
Honestly, he kind of defeated his whole argument when he said that. It's hard to respect an argument.
They would have won. It's funny though. The 1986 Bears are actually statistically a better team than the 1985.
Who did they lose to? Which team did the Bears
Well,
lose?
the problem was that
Was it the Giants?
McMahon got hurt against the Green Bay Packers.
Concussion?
No, it was like a collarbone shoulder thing where he got slammed to the ground, and then I forget the Bears backup's name, but they ended up playing Doug Flutie, and Doug was terrible.
Yeah, tough luck. He did win the Heisman that one year, though.
He did win the Heisman that 1 year.
I see Otson has a microphone. Otson, does the microphone work, first of all? Well, all right. Let's see what it does. Oh, I'm getting so nervous.
Jimmy knows back in the studio who the
How's it going?
How we doing?
Oh,
bad.
Okay.
Terrible.
Okay.
All right. Well, we have a third headset, I think. I was told we have a third headset, so maybe we'll do that. This hour has been presented by Union Bank and Trust. No matter where life takes you, can always feel good about banking with UBT, member FDIC. And reminder that 1620 The Zone is joined today by KRT Athletic Muscle Cream, providing increased performance to people who suffer from muscle fatigue and cramps, and by Cross Strain Brewing, Nebraska fresh and always evolving.
have you used that KRT cream?
I have used KRT tape before.
The cream?
I've never used the cream, but I've used the tape.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Like better than Tiger Ball.
Better than Tiger.
Because I got a bad back, so I've had to use a lot of hockey.
No, that's right. People forget that you scored a goal that one time.
No, it has nothing to do with the goal.
No, I'm just reminding people that you scored a goal one time.
I feel like you said that very sarcastically,
What do you mean?
you were trying to make fun of me.
I would never make fun of you, Matt. I'm just getting to know you.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
something has just fallen down. I think our sweets went everywhere.
Speaking of sweets, folks from Sweet are here.
Oh, Sweet 98.
Let's go,
Spicoli.
baby. Let's go, baby.
Look at you.
They're
That's a
looking good.
nice jersey.
Yeah, see, we got jerseys last year.
What? What'd you say? Hi, Meg. How are you? Good to see you.
Wow, that's a tough
Just
look for you.
Spicoli's being Spicoli. I just got to call it on the air.
Nice. Coming up next hour, we're going to have Jeff Hardy stop by from Cross Train. Also, we'll try to figure it out, but Josh does have to do the odd news
at some point.
Yeah, with that, maybe he'll just have to yell really loudly, and everybody. Oh, there you go.
Monkeys were released from a zoo, and they're running around everywhere.
We'll share a microphone like it's a duet. Coming up to start the 11 o'clock hour.
Karaoke.
College football summer school begins with Matt and me as we talk about the biggest games of the season for all 18 Big Ten teams. We're going to do 3 during this show, and we're going to try to hit 3 per show throughout the next few days. So we'll do that. Coming up to begin next hour, Jeff Hardy from Cross Train will stop by. Also, a question about Nebraska baseball and if they or when they could make it back to the Men's College World Series. So we'll do that as well. And I already mentioned the odd news. We're going to be on until 12:40 as we get ready for Coastal Carolina and Arizona. Josh Peterson, Matt McMaster, Josh Hodson with you. Jimmy Chavez back in our studio. More to come. 1620, The Zone.
If baseball and ice cream go together like fireworks in the 4th of July, I mean, on any given night during the summer, you're bound to run into a team of little leaguers getting ice cream after their game, win or lose. So before you head home after the game, head over to Ted and Wally's Ultra Premium Ice Cream and pick up your flavor. They serve more than 3,000 of them. Keep track of the daily specials on social media, celebrating more than 35 years. Ted and Wally's Ultra Premium Ice Cream. Benson, Old Market, and at tedandwallys.com.
Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill is West Omaha's headquarters for specialty pizzas and award-winning char-buffed wings. Enjoy games on their updated video and audio system and huge LED wall. Their main location on 173rd and Center is the perfect place to beat the heat with family and friends for the college baseball tournament. They also have a second carry-out location at 162nd and West Maple Street, featuring the same great pizzas and wings. Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill, home of the Big O Pizza and award-winning char-buffed wings.
The time between Memorial Day and Labor Day is known as the 100 Deadliest Days. It accounts for 37% of Nebraska's traffic fatalities. Sadly, 67 people lost their lives on Nebraskan roads during this time last year. Your children, significant others, parents, pets, and friends matter to you. Drive like they matter. Don't let a crash take you away from their lives. Always wear your seatbelt, keep your eyes on the road, and put your phone away. Brought to you by the Nebraska chapter of the National Safety Council and the Nebraska DOT Highway Safety Office.
At Rotella's Italian Bakery, they put unsurpassed product quality into everything they bake. Old world skill and experience are masterfully blended with modern efficiencies to create the delicious breads, rolls, hamburger and hot dog buns, and other specialty products that have delighted their customers since 1921. Combining customer satisfaction with uncompromising quality is their goal. Rotella's Italian Bakery, a century of pride in every slice. To see the full menu of products, visit rotellasbakery.com.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Omaha knows baseball, and muscle recovery is no game. That's why they trust KRT Athletic Muscle Cream for pregame, midgame performance, and postgame recovery. KRT uses transdermal science to help keep muscles loose, fight cramps fast, and get you back in the action. All natural, WADA compliant, trusted by elite athletes. So swing harder, run faster, recover smarter. KRT Athletic Muscle Cream, stay in the game. Available now at krtrelief.com.
Your home for the Men's College World Series is 1620 The Zone. KOC and Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. Sponsored by Lanaha Nurseries, 192nd and Center. This special edition hour of the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone is presented by Nebraska Medicine. Join our team at nebraskamed.com/careers. This special edition of the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone is live at the Omaha Baseball Village. Powered by Access Bank, here for a reason, yours, and Children's Nebraska. Here are your hosts for today's broadcast, Josh Peterson and Matt McMaster on 1620 The Zone.
It is day one at the Men's College World Series, the 75th edition here in Omaha, the Diamond Anniversary, and we are so happy that you have joined us on this special edition of the Connor Happer Show, where Hour 2 is presented by Nebraska Medicine. Join our team at nebraskamed.com/careers. And as always, a reminder to stop by the Zone booth inside of the OBV for some chewy granola bars from Sunbelt Bakery.
Heck yeah.
Sunbelt Bakery, granola bars, tastiest flavors under the sun. Josh Peterson, Matt McMaster here. We got Josh Hodson producing, Jimmy Chavez back in our Zone studio as we get ready for Coastal Carolina and Arizona. First pitch just after 1 o'clock. Pregame coverage with John Bishop, Gary Sharp, Connor Happer starts at 12:40. The nightcap this evening, Oregon State and Louisville. Matt and I will be back on between the games, getting you ready for that one. And then tomorrow, UCLA versus Murray State before the main event of the opening weekend, Arkansas versus LSU, where tickets are quite pricey right now, Mr. McMaster.
They are
quite pricey.
So yesterday they were $266 to get into the building.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like 2 days ago. We saw on Twitter it was $750 is what a pair of tickets went for each, which is bonkers. But hey, you want to see? Look, here's the thing about the people freaking out about the whole. They paid $750 for a ticket.
Yeah,
man, if I had that money,
you do it.
Oh my God, I would.
Thank God you got this.
I know, but I'm just saying in general.
Like
we can. Why are we shaming people? You know, if you got a little
who's shaming?
Well, not. I'm just saying on Twitter, they're like, "Oh my God, they paid $750." Heck yeah, they did. They're going to the game, man. Yeah. They want to sit nicely. Want to have some good seats. Want to get that Cubano sandwich or the
Cubano sandwich?
Yeah. Have you seen all the food that's coming out? They got popcorn nachos.
I like being surprised.
Cheeseburger tater tots. And
now you're speaking my language.
You got what else do they have, Josh? The s'more nachos. Yeah, everything. Wow. The new thing now, I feel like this trend is we're going to take a food and we're going to take another food and we're going to combine those foods.
People love combining.
So it's just like, burger popcorn. You know,
popcorn.
What do we want to? We want to combine a cinnamon bun and a turkey sandwich.
I was going to say
we're going to have a cinnamon turkey sandwich.
People love weird things on sandwiches.
We have gotten to the point of food where we have done so much with it that now we're just getting weird. We're just doing weird stuff with it.
Matt McMaster, Connor Happer, handshake meme.
It's just stick to the classics, man. Just be Eddie Vedder. Just play the hits.
Interesting. A regular cheeseburger.
Just a
normal buffalo wing.
I'm sorry. When did a cheeseburger with bacon and onions and ketchup become too much for people?
I'd say about 10 years ago, it seemed like that was when the burgers started going really wild.
I don't need anything other than that.
Like
and
we've got the butter.
Oh my
God. That was the first one that I remember where it was like peanut. Now, everyone always swears by it. I've never had a peanut butter on a burger.
I've had a peanut butter burger.
Did you like it?
It was okay, but the problem is that the bun gets too soggy.
Yeah.
And then by that time, you're like having like an open-faced Uncrustable by the time you're done eating your.
Too much.
And then here's the thing. I had no problem with a peanut butter burger. But then these snobs were like, oh, we have to add layers. So then they put jalapenos on them.
Oh, I do.
So you get like the sweetness and the nuttiness and the hotness. And it's just like, guys, meat, cheese, pickle, tomato.
There we go.
What happened?
No tomato for your boy, but otherwise that sounds good. Reminder that the Special Edition Zone hotline is powered by the Sedora Law Group. Your outcome depends on what you do next. We're taking text messages there throughout the show as well at 402-951-1620. Jeff Hardy at the bottom of the hour. Odd news at the end of the hour. We got Josh Dodson's microphone situation fixed, so we'll tackle that later on. We'll talk some baseball this hour as well. But it is the College World Series, and that to me, Matt, has always meant we're really going to start peeking ahead to the football season, much to the chagrin of everybody else.
Is that what that means?
To me, it does.
Oh, my God. We are at the mecca of college baseball, so we're going to talk about college football.
So when I was growing up,
always zag when they zig.
When I was listening to this very show, back in the day, back in my day, that meant Michael Severe and Damon Benning. And do you know what they did, Matt, on a daily basis? They just predicted schedules, and that was my kind of content. Now, I have tried to take that and alter it a little bit.
Sure.
And so over the course of the next week and change, Matt and I are going to do college football summer school, partly for us to kind of get reminded about the storylines and the teams and the programs that we'll be following, but also we hope as help for you so you can remember what's going on. And so here's what we're going to do today, and really a through line of the next week, and that is going to be biggest games of the season. And so when you posed this was your idea.
Yes, it was.
When you posed this idea to me, I was thinking of kind of this is going to decide how good a program is in 2025. So we're doing Big Ten teams. So, for example, you could look at Texas, and you could say for them, maybe it's Ohio State in the opener. Maybe I'd probably go with like the Georgia game because they lost to Georgia twice last year.
It's a conference game.
Conference game, exactly. So that's kind of the idea that we're doing. And we decided let's not start off with Purdue and Northwestern.
No.
And
hey, we don't have to throw the cats in there.
No offense.
We can.
No offense to Chicago's team.
Thank you.
Northwestern.
Thank you. Show some respect.
We decided to go with the three favorites, Ohio State, Penn State, and Oregon, and dive right in with them. Let us begin with Oregon.
Okay.
What is the biggest game of the season? And we're obviously talking a regular season, Matt, for the Oregon Ducks.
USC at the end of the year.
Okay, we're disagreeing already.
Here's why. You can have one loss and make the college football playoff.
Sure.
You're going at Penn State, okay?
Yep.
You're probably – if they're not an underdog, it's going to be an even game. It's really going to depend on how those two teams look going into that game. That'll determine what the line is. And not to make everything about gambling, but I think that the line part of the story. No, it tells part of the story. And so if you win that game or you lose that game, I really don't think it matters all that much other than like, okay, if you want to be a 1 seed or if you want to be a 2 seed, like it definitely matters in that regard. But I think Oregon, like we saw 7 seed Ohio State win the national championship, right?
Yep.
So it's just like they are a good enough team, regardless of what number is next to their name, come the college football playoff, where they are going to be fine, where they are going to be able to compete for a national championship. But the reason why I say USC is that what happens when he gets to 2 losses, especially at the end of the year, right? If Oregon, let's say they lose to Penn State at the beginning of the year, and maybe they're a little bit shaky, and then they're picking up wins, but maybe they don't look as good, and then they play USC at the end of the year, and they end up losing that game. Now you're 10-2. You got 1 game left before that against Washington. That's not going to be enough for you to really turn the heads of the committee if you are trying to convince them, hey, we should be the 12th or 11th spot.
So you're viewing the Penn State game not so much as a throwaway, but more like it could be a mulligan, but if they lose to USC, that might be the thing that keeps them out.
Exactly. Yeah. What in this era of college football, what is the difference between 11-1 and 12-0?
I mean, maybe seeding,
maybe, right?
And certainly in the conference race, it could be the difference between making or missing the Big Ten championship.
Sure,
yeah,
but also too, like we're getting to the point where kind of like the conference championship games we're getting to the point where they don't mean nearly as much.
They have certainly lost some of their luster.
Absolutely.
They have certainly lost some of their luster. We had Kelly Ford yesterday of K Ford Ratings on Unsportsmanlike Conduct, and he gives Oregon a greater than 99% chance to win 8 games. And so the higher you climb, 95% chance to win 9, 81% chance to win 10. And that's where he has them. He has them as a 10-2 season and basically a 50-50 chance to go 11-1.
If Oregon goes to Penn State, barring a blowout, right? If they go to Penn State and they lose a close game, I don't think anybody's opinion of Oregon is going to change.
Sure.
I think you're still going to think, hey, this is a good team.
Yep.
They got Dante Moore. Dan Lanning's a dog. They got a really, really good offense. Like, you are going to be like, no, this is what we expect. And a lot of people think that Penn State very easily could be the best team in the country.
Yeah.
With everything that they're returning.
They're one of
the
favorites. Yeah.
And that's going to be a night game as well. And so, yeah, from a matchup perspective, from a marquee perspective, I'm not – oh, my God, it's Penn State, right? But from an importance perspective, you lose to USC, who I think is going to be better than maybe people anticipate at the end of the year.
Interesting.
That could make things weird for Oregon. I think they might still make it at 10-2.
I think they'd be fine at 10-2.
They'd probably be fine at 10-2.
It's if they have another loss along the way.
Exactly.
And so it's funny. You present a very good argument for why it's not Penn State. I actually did go with Penn State.
Sure.
And I think part of my reasoning is they already got 2 wins in their back pocket over the 2 bluest of bloods in the league in Michigan and Ohio State.
Yeah.
And so, if they're able to go into Happy Valley and do that, that really would represent
their conference.
No true drop-off. Everything is going to be fine under Dante Moore. But I wanted to throw out a different game as a conversation starter, and that's the one in Iowa City. Because I think what you just
saw that.
I think what you just laid out is basically they're going to be obviously fine at 12-0 and 11-1.
Yeah.
Most likely, I'd say 99.9% chance they're going to be fine at 10-2. But what if they did drop that game in Happy Valley? And then what if they drop that game in Iowa City? Then suddenly we're having a very different conversation about that USC game.
Different
and so I look at that Iowa game, and look, do I think Iowa's a better football team than Oregon? Absolutely not. But that stadium sometimes has become a house of horrors for really good teams in the conference.
What do you think of Iowa?
This year, I think they're interesting because I think their quarterback play is going to be a whole lot better.
It can't get worse.
Yes, it obviously cannot get worse. They have such a high floor. It's pretty wild, Matt, because 15 years ago, it seemed like Iowa's floor had dropped off a little bit.
Yeah.
Where for the longest time in my life, they were consistent, but then they had these years where they finished 4-8 one year. They were a 500-ish team. And then basically, once Nebraska fired Bo Pelini and Sean Eichhorst said we had to evaluate where Iowa was, they have become a team with a much higher floor because their defense and special teams is really, really good.
So I am low on them this year. And I had to go back and I had to look at my notes real quick. And Mark Gronowski threw for 12,000 yards in 3 years at South Dakota State. And if you were watching, and I know you were, the Iowa quarterbacks, whether it was Cade McNamara or Brendan Sullivan, was absolutely terrible. But you lose Caleb Johnson, and that's massive. Now, I want to give them credit. They do return 3 starters on the offensive line. And so whether they do it by committee or not, I think that the run game, it's Iowa. The run game is going to be effective.
Sure.
Okay? No one's really going to have that argument. They're returning leading wide receiver at 411 yards last year.
Not great.
No. So
but that's not the type of team.
I very much I wrestle with the fact of how big of an upgrade is Mark Gronowski if he's got nobody to throw to, right? How big of an upgrade is he playing if you still don't have weapons on the outside that can actually get open? And so I think we always play this game with a lot of teams throughout the country, whether it be in the pros or college, where it's it couldn't get much worse from last year, and we're going to upgrade this position, not recognizing that the positions around them have gotten worse.
Yeah.
And so you have to factor that in as well. So even if
he raises his level, the offense still might be pretty...
It might be pretty bad because everybody else, because the wide receivers are worse and the running backs are worse. And so I just don't think it's a Band-Aid with Iowa.
Yeah.
I don't think it's he's here.
Uh-huh.
We're going to go from
fine.
7-5 to 9-3, or we're going to have 2 more wins above replacement because Gronowski is so much better. So
interesting.
I definitely am hesitant. I think a lot of people, and rightfully so, are very quick to pull the trigger on quarterback better, team better.
Mm-hmm.
Where I think if you look at as a whole, and I haven't mentioned the defense for a reason, because the defense is damn good.
Yeah.
Because
you don't have to talk about
You don't
the
have to
defense.
talk about
Or
it.
the special teams.
When do you ever have to talk about Iowa's defense?
Yeah, you just say they're really good, and then you move on to the
then you
offense.
move on. And then when do we talk about their special teams? We don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's the
they're
same.
Really good.
It's the same thing.
Let's do Penn State. Penn State really interesting because, as you mentioned a couple minutes ago, this is a team that has national championship aspirations.
This is it.
They have Oregon at home, as we just talked about. Obviously, they actually go to Iowa as well.
Yeah.
They have an off week. Then they have Ohio State on the road. They're on the road in 4 of their last 6 games, and they're actually on the road in 5 of their last 8 games.
Yeah.
So they travel a ton. Look, this one is, in my opinion, easy. The answer is Ohio State because, it's almost less about conference championship race and getting back to Indy. They lost to Ohio State last year, and they made it to Indianapolis. It's not about that for me. It is, I need to see from them if they are someone that I can truly think as a national championship contender going into the playoff. And they travel to Ohio State late in October, so that would be a massive win, and it would come on the road. They have not beaten Ohio State since 2016, so we're coming on almost a decade ago. And, this game now has just kind of become one of those, you got to pick Ohio State because Penn State, for whatever reason, cannot get over the hump. They bring back a ton of talent. We know about all the players that they have. This is almost if you can't beat them this year, Matt, when can Penn State beat Ohio State? I know it's on the road, so that, I guess, is the one wrench in this discussion. If it was at home, you would say you unequivocally have to. But I still feel that way because I think Ohio State's a little bit worse. I think Penn State, at the very least, maintained, if not a little bit better. If I want to respect you as a natty contender, so I need to see it.
Let me, because
Push
you and I
back?
are no.
Okay.
You and I are on the same page, but
Okay.
I'll put it a little bit shorter. If you beat Oregon, I think Oregon's going to be a better team than Ohio State.
Okay.
But a win over Ohio State would mean more than Oregon.
Yes, 100%.
Because it has nothing to do with the quality of opponent and everything to do with the history.
Mm-hmm.
You have been in this conference for a very long time. Penn State is now a Big Ten team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been 30 years now.
Yeah. We're past the whole, they came for, no. They're a Big Ten team. Mm-hmm. You've been competing in this conference. And this is the team you got to beat.
Yep.
This is the one.
I love that. I love the way you put it.
They've been on the top of the heap. You got to get over the giant. You got to climb the mountain. You got to finally put that damn lion flag on top and say, no. At least for this year, we've done it.
Yeah.
So I think Oregon is going to be one of the best teams in the country again. If they were to beat Oregon but then lose to Ohio State, I would say, are you really at the top of the Big Ten?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what this has been building up to.
You
It's
just can't
years.
keep doing the same thing because then, at a certain point, people say you're only making the playoff just because it expanded, not like you've made the playoff because you finally raised your level of play.
You cannot. It's a crazy way to think about it. But if they were to win the national championship, but they didn't win the Big Ten and they didn't beat Ohio State, you're like, well, you won the Natty, but are you really the king?
No, I wouldn't say that because
I don't know.
Let's get to one
because
more
we've
team.
been building for years now with them. Can you beat Ohio State?
That would mean 4 wins in a row, and
you probably have to beat Ohio State.
Let's get to Ohio State because Ohio State for me the answer is, and this is another easy one. It's Michigan, and it's not. They just got to do it. They got to beat Michigan. But Matt, last year they lost to them and they still won the Natty, and it's I know that the fans are still mad about it, but. Dude, you got a national championship. So I would apply the same logic to Penn State. If you lose to Ohio State, but then you rip off 1, 2, 3, 4 wins in a row against top 12 competition, I don't care anymore.
So part of, but that's my thing about the whole Penn State thing. It kind of comes from the whole Ohio State argument of last year, where Michigan fans were happy they won the national championship in a way because they could puff out their chest and be like, "Well, you still can't beat us."
That's such a weird part about college football.
Well, here's the thing. This is why.
Congrats to the Falcons on beating the Eagles last year. Who cares?
But we never. No. But that's different. Wait. This is way different.
I know.
This is why we never get rid of regional conferences in college football because it just becomes so personal.
Yeah.
Right? It has nothing to do with you won.
Flag planning.
It's all about, well, did you beat us? Or it's have you beat us over this time? No. This is like a little kid playground, right? And I can swing on the monkey bars longer than you can, and I have been able to for the last couple of years. It's the same thing. It's everything becomes personal. Mm-hmm. Everything becomes about the history. So it's just that's why this whole the conference expansion and all these different teams going to places when you have enough teams in the same conference for long enough and you can build on these stories. It's why Ohio State plays better teams than Michigan on their schedule.
Oh, yeah. But Michigan's the answer, right?
Michigan's the answer.
Yeah.
Because that's what this is all rooted in.
Uh-huh.
It's all funny. It's stupid, but it's great.
It is indeed. So those are the 3 teams today, and we'll have 3 more. We'll do it in between the games later today. 3 more Big Ten teams, and eventually we'll get to Nebraska. Maybe we'll just go in order of odds to win the conference as we go team by team by team. A reminder, Country Fest back at OBV this Friday. OBV welcomes Walker Montgomery and special guest Casey Johns and Kimberly Meyer to the Beer Garden stage. This is an all-ages show. Get your tickets at OmahaBaseballVillage.com. We have our friend Jeff Hardy from Cross Train stopping by at the bottom of the hour. Looking forward to that chat. We'll talk some baseball, though, when we return, as we are counting down right now to Game 1 of the 75th Men's College World Series here in Omaha, Nebraska. Coastal Carolina versus Arizona. Pregame coverage with John, Gary, and Happer. An hour and a half away, and first pitch just after 1 o'clock. And, of course, you can hear all of our coverage right here on 1620 The Zone.
Since this is a radio commercial, you can't see the people standing behind me. They're the Langfeld family. Everybody wave. Oh, sorry, you can't see them because radio. Anyway, the Langfelds are the family behind Langfeld Overhead Door, where they proudly install Midland garage doors to fit any space and style. And they don't take a backseat to anyone when it comes to their service. Because if something goes wrong, it's their name on the line. So they're going to make sure it goes right every single time. Langfeld Overhead Door, 402-234-2700.
An estimated 80% of Americans aren't getting their recommended daily amount of physical activity. It's time to move and keep moving, America. And when you need help, physical therapists and physical therapist assistants are by your side. Be your own champion. Choose more movement. Choose better health. Choose physical therapy. Find out more information and a physical therapist at choosept.com/NE. Brought to you by the American Physical Therapy Association of Nebraska.
Make the right call. John Higgins Weather Guard, the home of the roofery.
When it's time to replace or repair storm damage, make the right call. John Higgins Weather Guard, the local, trusted, and proven choice. No one has installed more DaVinci roofs, and there's a reason why John Higgins Weather Guard is the nation's leader. Community member, community supporter. Make the right call.
John Higgins Weather Guard, the home of the roofery. Make the right call.
Hey everybody, it's Michael Severe for KRT Athletic Muscle Cream. On the field, every second counts, whether you're warming up, cooling down, or battling cramps mid-game. Trusted by elite athletes, KRT delivers fast, targeted relief. Use it pre-workout to boost muscle endurance, post-workout to speed muscle recovery. KRT is all natural, hormone-free, and WADA compliant. Visit krtrelief.com to get yours today. KRT Athletic Muscle Cream. Stay in the game.
The hot, humid weather is coming, but if you call Patera Landscaping today, you can be relaxing in your crystal clear swimming pool this summer. Patera's design team will expertly craft and install your stunning pool that your family and friends will enjoy this summer and for years to come. Enjoy baseball, cookouts, and your perfect swimming pool from Patera this summer. Go to PateraLandscaping.com. For pool design, outdoor living, and landscaping, call Patera.
Twisted Thunder Fireworks is going to save you big money. You'll find the best variety and the lowest prices in the entire state of Nebraska. Don't believe us? See page after page of unique products and pricing online at twistedthunder.com, where you can watch all our items before you go to the tent. Go to twistedthunder.com to check out all our locations in Nebraska, as well as our location in Council Bluffs at the Horseshoe Casino. That's Twisted Thunder Fireworks.
Cheer on your team with Sunbelt Bakery Chewy Granola Bars. Indulge in the perfect blend of deliciousness and delight with every bite you take. From yummy granola bars dipped in fudge to our unbeatable classic oats and honey and chocolate chip, there's a deliciously satisfying fan favorite snack for anyone. Don't forget to catch a box or two of our limited time seasonal flavors while available. They're a grand slam. Sunbelt Bakery Chewy Granola Bars are the winning snack with the tastiest flavors under the sun. Stop by your preferred retailer and bring home your favorite today.
Imagine being part of a team, working together to help children find their inner strength. You can by joining the team at the new Behavioral Health and Wellness Center at Children's Nebraska, a first-of-its-kind facility where you will contribute to a movement to nurture the mental well-being of kids and families. Become part of our people-first culture and provide hope where it's needed most. Apply today at childrensnebraska.org/wearehiringhope.
Now back to the Connor Happer Show, live from Omaha Baseball Village, powered by Children's Nebraska and Access Bank on 1620 The Zone.
Hour 2 of this special edition of the Connor Happer Show, presented by Nebraska Medicine Fred and Pamela Buffett Cancer Centers. Get a second opinion at nebraskamed.com/cancer. And stop by the Zone booth inside of the Omaha Baseball Village. Register to win ice cream for a year from 10 Wally's. 10 Wally's, official ice cream of 1620 The Zone, celebrating more than 35 years with over 3,000 flavors. Benson and the Old Market, Omaha. Josh Peterson, Matt McMaster here. We'll have Jeff Hardy from Cross Train in just a moment.
Got to clear the table.
Talk about what's going on with them, and you can ask them about all the brews that they have.
I actually am so excited to talk about Cross Train.
About beer?
I am.
It's a great brewery.
It's a great brew with really good beer, and I need to learn. I need to learn more. I'm only a Fairy Nectar guy. You didn't know Block No Rock.
Mm-hmm.
They're sponsored by Cross Train. I had a couple of other Cross Train brews with no Block No Rock, which turned into like 3 or 4, which was the end of that podcast was entertaining.
Oh, I bet it was.
Well, because they're high in ABV.
Yes, they are.
And Mike Delaware, and I kept putting them down.
There you go.
So then, I don't know. We were talking about special teams, and it was whatever. Regardless, I'm ready to learn more about Cross Train Brewery.
Couple emails that we have gotten. John writes, summer school, and then adds, today is the start of the NCAA Baseball National Championship Tournament. Football season has started. There is no need for even 30 seconds of disgusting basketball talk for the next 2 weeks. We got to talk about Game 4 still.
Yeah.
Wow, you sound like John with that
I'm okay.
tone.
Well, I don't think there's that much analysis to have about Oklahoma City versus Indiana. This is it. It's turned into Mark Dagno versus Rick Carlisle. Dagno has the better team. Carlisle's the better coach.
Okay.
Can Dagno adjust to the genius that is Rick Carlisle?
Thank God you're not doing sports talk radio in Indianapolis today. You
Well,
say, sorry, guys, I got no takes.
No, it's not even no. What do you mean no takes? Just watch the games. You know, like Indiana. Indiana was able to switch on Pascal Siakam in very advantageous positions in Game 1 and Game 3. No, I know, but I'm saying it's like we don't have to spend 10 minutes on it. It's very simple.
I was thinking we could spend
go Arkansas, baby. Hell yeah.
I was
go
thinking we could
Razorbacks.
spend like an hour on the game. That was my plan.
Game 4, the NBA Finals.
Just kidding.
I know. What are we doing?
But
it'll be fun.
I'm excited for tonight, man. I think this is. Oh yeah, I love when teams that are obviously, and maybe I shouldn't say obviously, but it performed better over the course of the whole regular season, right? That's the way to do it. I like it when their backs are against the wall. And they're young, right? What does everybody say?
Really well.
The Pacers you're talking about?
They
did
so well.
But look at the Thunder, and one of the things that people talked about coming into the postseason was, but they're young. So like, I love this moment. They had a similar moment against the Nuggets, and they responded well. That went to a Game 7, and they responded well. I think that they're going to respond well tonight. But like, the atmosphere the other night was awesome, and if they're unable to get the takeaways and the pick sixes like they get in a lot of these other games, it's going to be interesting.
What are you talking about?
You've never heard that as a basketball term where you get the steal and you go and you lay it in?
The takeaways and the pick sixes? Are we scoring 6 points on a layup?
Wow, I thought you knew ball. I heard Zach Lowe call it a pick six, and I was like, if Zach Lowe can call it a pick six, I can use it.
Zach Lowe and Bill Simmons had a podcast together, and I have not watched it yet, but I've seen the clips, and I am ready.
They're doing another one tonight after Game 4.
Are they actually?
They're doing another one on the low feed.
Yeah. I love the guy on Instagram who imitates Bill Simmons.
Very good guy.
Like Bill Simmons when the Iraq.
You've been into Bill Simmons.
I've been into Bill Simmons for a very long time.
Man, this is now the third person in my life, Hodson, that is into Bill Simmons.
God, there was nothing better than like being 16 years old and Ryan Russillo and Bill Simmons are just talking about like
they used to be better together. They're not as good together anymore.
Like is the relationship between Kyrie and LeBron is it deteriorating? And Ryan, is it too early to say that Jaylen Brown could end up being one of the best stars in the league.
That's not a bad.
I mean,
that's not a bad Bill Simmons. Not as good as the other guy.
I don't want to jump the shark here, but
he does love jumping the shark.
He does.
You know what we love doing?
Kyle.
Turn the TikTok camera on, Kyle.
Turn the TikTok camera.
Austin, turn the TikTok camera on.
He's giving him the Maggie Simpson wheel. The Maggie Simpson wheel.
You can come by the Zone booth at the bullpen inside of the Omaha Baseball Village and register to win a 1620 The Zone prize pack of Casey Royals porch tickets and ice cream for a year from Ted Wally's, 13th and Mike Fahey this hour. And this show, powered by Access Bank, here for a reason, yours, and by Children's Nebraska. Also stop by the OBV because next, Jeff Hardy of Cross Strain, one of the, if not the first breweries that ever came by the Zone when we started One Beer Friday. He came by, gave us delicious gifts, and a glass that I still have all these years later. We're going to talk to him about all sorts of stuff.
Beer.
When we return.
Beer.
Jeff will join us next. We are here at the Omaha Baseball Village, a special edition of the Connor Happer Show. Thank you so much for joining us. Josh Peterson, Matt McMaster with you on 1620 The Zone. That's incredible. Hour 2 here of this special edition of the Connor Happer Show is presented by Nebraska Medicine. Join our team at nebraskamed.com/careers. And a special edition Zone Hotline is powered by the Sedoro Law Group. Your outcome depends on what you do next. We go to the in-person hotline as we welcome in Jeff Hardy from Cross-Train, one of the great friends of 1620 The Zone and the program. Jeff, hello.
You are too kind.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we got to turn you up, Mr. Hardy.
We feeling
there
better?
we go. There we go. Oh, yeah. Here, I'm gonna move it just a little closer to your mouth.
Choo-choo train right there.
Thanks for having me on, boys.
Yeah,
good seeing you again.
Great meeting you.
Nice meeting you for the first time as well, Matt.
Josh, can I take the first question?
I would love for you to take the first question.
I love your product. Okay,
Thank you.
make a
Appreciate
phenomenal product. The Fairy Nectar beer, I tell people, is one of the greatest beers ever. All right,
Thank you.
period, end of
Thank
story.
you.
But I need to branch out, and I think a lot of people need to branch out because it's very easy. It's very easy to fall in love with the Fairy Nectar and be like, "This is Cross-Train Brewery. This is what I'm drinking."
It's our show pony. It's what gets us in the door.
What am I drinking next?
Right now, what you want to be drinking is our Cabana Crusher.
Cabana Crusher.
A citrus wheat. We do like a real light wheat beer base. Then we add Valencia orange peel, a little bit of lemon puree. If you like another certain beer named after some celestial body that's the color blue, you're going to love the hell out of Cabana Crusher. The other one we're doing right now is our Tan Limes. That's a lime lager.
Okay. I like
it's
that.
like if
tan lime.
Tan limes.
Oh.
So do you like drinking Coronas with a lime?
Yes.
So
there's other Mexican beers with limes that I prefer.
That's okay.
But Coronas are great as well.
We're just using it as a catch-all term.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
the worst part about that is you got to cut your own lime up and put that in the beer.
It sucks.
It does.
I use the lime juice sometimes.
We do it for you. We put in crystallized lime. We put in key lime puree.
Yes.
It is a beach in a can. It is fantastic. So
I
those are the
think
two
I'm
that I'm really jamming
Can
on
I
right
offer
now.
one to him?
Yeah.
No, I don't know if it's on tap right now, but Juice and Desist has long been one of my faves. Plus, the artwork on that one is great.
Is that an OJ reference? Juice to Desist?
Well,
it's a.
So the long and short of that, it
You
used
can
to
tell the story.
used to be called Super Juice.
Okay,
There was a
okay.
cease and desist that was given from an out-of-state brewery.
Oh,
We could have fought it. We didn't want to pay the legal fees. We just changed the name, so we called it Juice and Desist.
I love that.
Since then, the trademark's expired, so we got it back. So this year it's back as Super Juice. It'll be Super Juice going forward. So
wow. Okay.
exact same beer.
It's a great beer.
It's a 9.5%, so it's got a little gusto to it.
You've ruined my day. 'Cause I'm just going to be thinking about limes.
And that
No,
comes
I'm
out
gonna
in
be thinking about
January,
tan
so I
limes.
ruined it again.
It comes out in January?
Comes out in January every
Oh,
year.
my
So
God.
we've got some other good stuff, though. We've got our Dingerville Lager,
Okay.
which is like
have
Mick
that.
Ultra. It's super light. You can have a few of them on a hot day like this. It's not going to get you too crazy,
Sure.
but it is going to be super refreshing. Another thing we're tapping this week, actually about now-ish. We've got our Fooder Friday series. We've got our Grape Crush a lot, which is basically like a grape soda in a can.
Hell yeah.
And then we're dovetailing that into some Orange Crush a lot, which is like orange soda. So
Let's
that'll be there
go.
till it's gone.
Nice.
We've got boozy slushies, all
Okay.
two blocks north of the ballpark at Dingerville.
I was going to ask you, so this is year 4, right?
Year
Fourth?
three.
Year
Year three.
three.
We've been
Year
open
three?
4 years.
Oh, I have the wrong number there.
We had to do the math ourselves.
Mhm.
Time is a flat circle. It runs together.
So third Dingerville.
Yep.
What has been able to make this thing so special in your eyes?
So we knew that with using the name Dingerville, it's going to evoke memories of Rosenblatt in the past. At the end of the day, we are completely cognizant. We're not going to recapture that magic that happened there.
Sure.
You can't do RVs or anything like that, but we didn't want to let that name die because it was so special to so many people in the College World Series world.
Absolutely.
So we wanted to jump on that. It has been a special thing because it's literally just 2 blocks north of the ballpark. It's a 5-minute walk. You can come, you can get beer, you can get food from Willie Dogs. We've got Clean Slate. We've got a couple of other places that are up there. Coneflower Creamy, Dolomite. I mean, everything is right there. And you get such a taste of what's local for the out-of-town folk.
Sure.
That it's special in its very own way.
Awesome.
I think so too. What's unique about it is that I'm sure there are in-town folk who haven't necessarily had that in-town flavor that you guys.
You're
can bring to
correct.
that
You're
as
correct.
well.
Because we've only been open 4 years down here.
Yeah.
It was one of those areas that was kind of I don't want to say run down, but it was not well traveled.
Yeah.
It's still a new thing. It's still up and coming. If you go through any other time of year, there's still a bunch of construction going on. But it is a vibrant community that's building up from the ground up. Our building's full. The apartments across the way are full. We've got another brewery from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, coming in caddy corner from us.
Go.
Wow. It's an area that's getting it's growing.
Yeah, I moved down there
forefront.
in 2018, and it's nuts. And I moved away in 2019, and it's nuts to see how much has changed down there for the better.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Even year over year.
Yeah. Jeff Hardy joining us from Cross Train. Tell us also about a Smash Burger contest that you have going on Sunday.
Yeah, Father's Day. We partnered with our friends over at Omaha Steaks, and they are debuting a new product. It's a freezer ready or grill ready smash burger that you can basically have from freezer to plate within 10 minutes.
Wow.
So baseball, burgers, beers, it just kind of goes together.
Oh,
so they said, hey, let's do this thing. Let's make it big. Let's get a competition going. We'll get some celebrities coming in.
Sure.
We got Matt Rule coming in as a celebrity judge.
I've never heard of him. Who's that?
I don't. He's some guy.
A future podcaster, maybe.
Apparently, he lives in Lincoln. I don't know. But no,
country artist?
Maybe. I don't know. But no, we were super excited to have Coach Rule come down. We've got a couple other celebrity judges. It's going on from 3 o'clock to 5:30 on Sunday. Come down, bring your kids, be part of the fun. You know, we're still looking for people. You're going to get 20 minutes to do your burger, 15 minutes of prep, 5 minutes of cook.
Okay.
And then they're going to be judged by, like I said, those celebrities.
Give me your dream smash burger. Just not, I don't want to bury the lead here and maybe give,
thumb on the scale.
Yeah, or anything like that. But like, what are some aspects that you think go into
being a man of ample girth? I've had a burger or two, and I have found that more is not always better. I am a purist. I'm an Oklahoma onion burger, 100%. A bucket list item for me is going to George Motz's Hamburger America in New York. I'm a big, big believer in George Motz. If you've not read his book, Hamburger America, you need to do it. It's just
life-changing.
It's life-changing. You got 50 states. He's got burgers from each state. The guy has had more than his fair share of burgers, so he is an absolute expert. So we're talking 2 slices of cheese on each patty, 2 patties, griddled onions grilled into the patty, pickles, and yellow mustard. That's it.
Now, what I know the popular thing now is to put like that little, like, they call it fun sauce.
Burger sauce.
Burger sauce.
I mean, we can all do ketchup and mayo at the same time. It's not that.
It's just a weird thousand items.
It's cool.
I'm getting sick and tired of it.
That's fine. I'm not a mayo guy. Like,
neither am I.
I will have it, but I'm not like, hey, slather my sandwich in mayo. Nope.
Well, Jeff Hardy, it's always great to see you. It's always great to hear about the new, fun, exciting things that you have going on.
It's always good to be here.
And I'm looking forward to stopping by Dingerville at some point in time over the next probably 24 hours at the latest.
I think I'll be there 10 times in the next 10 days. That's what I'm thinking.
You know where to find us. We'll be there.
Oh.
We'll keep the beer cold for you, boys.
Absolutely. Jeff, thank you so much for stopping by.
You got it. Thank you, boys.
Good to see you. And stop by, everybody. Dingerville, their 3rd year doing this in that Smash Burger contest coming on Sunday between 3 and 5:30 with a guest judge, Matt Rule, there as well. We'll come back. We'll wrap up hour number 2. Josh Otson will have the odd news for us next here on 1620 The Zone.
Go up. I gotta say hi to Kellyanne at some point too.
She's over in Lot D.
Yeah.
We love Kellyanne.
Huh?
We love Kellyanne, don't we, folks?
Josh Peterson, Matt McMaster, as we finish up hour number 2, and we are presented by Nebraska Medicine, Fred and Pamela Buffett Cancer Centers. Get a second opinion at nebraskamed.com/cancer. And a reminder that the 1620 The Zone hydration sponsor is Coke Zero Sugar. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Take a taste. Josh Peterson, Matt McMaster, who is handing out
There you go.
bevy
You want a
of
koozie?
koozies.
Everybody want a koozie? Who wants koozies?
Yeah, from our
Here,
friends
take some koozies.
Cross.
Got to keep the beers warm or cold.
No, you
got to
keep them cold.
Beers are better cold.
But you give them a coat to keep them cold. Koozies.
Don't
Koozies?
promise warm
There you go,
beer.
boozes.
You're in Lot D, you're going to need a
beers,
koozie.
baby.
Oh, yeah.
Cold beers.
Oh, yeah.
You're too young to get a koozie.
So
You're too young.
okay,
Come on.
People drink.
Come on.
People. What about a can?
Here you go,
of-
Wildcat.
A
There,
can
boy.
of Sprite.
Nice.
A nice can of
Wildcat.
Sprite.
He can see you.
I can see you. I'm just saying. I'm just giving. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. These are. They're cross-trained brewery. I feel like you
Yeah.
put a beer in here.
You
not
know,
like a
I
Sprite.
saw kids when I was growing up wearing hats that say Budweiser on them or something like that.
Are you guys old enough to remember the trend of
Just go right into it.
buck naked shirts?
Oh yeah, female body inspector.
I did. There is a picture of me, and I'm 4 years old wearing an old style hat.
Ah, nice.
Which is the most Chicago thing ever.
See what we did there?
You see
The
that?
Odd News with Oddson.
It's time for the odd news as we hear with that open. Josh, what do we got today in the odd news?
Well, this involves
The big show.
Matt McMaster's boy, Justin Turner.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. What about Jay Turner?
Marquis broadcast of Thursday night's game between the Pirates and the Cubs got a little weird in the ninth inning.
Yes, it did.
One might even say it got nuts. At the beginning, you'll get that joke later.
There you go.
At the beginning of the ninth inning, announcers Boog Shambi named the fan of the game. On Thursday, the fan of the game was Cubs infielder Justin Turner for his celebration of Seiya Suzuki's sixth inning home run. Only we don't think too many people watched the celebration that closely. The celebration, as I lost my place as I'm reading, the page jumped.
I can see you scrolling.
That's what the kids do. Celebration featured Suzuki looking down the steps into the tunnel at the Wrigley Field clubhouse. Turner was standing at the bottom of the stairs, jumping up and down with his arms up. As Turner was jumping, it became clear he was wearing a pair of fake testicles, which were very visible
and odd.
I love it. Do you know why I love it?
Why?
Because in 2016, and you can ask John Bishop about this, when the Cubs won the World Series, they did a thing that I dubbed the crotch boom. They would take crotches and they would.
They'd bang. I remember that.
They would boom, right? The crotch boom was born, and that's when they were winning. So anything
Did you
around
and your pals start doing that?
At softball, we did
Matt
it.
McMaster
Start crotch booming, yeah. So it was a celebration, and so anything
That guy's a Cubs
to
guy,
do.
maybe he remembers the crotch boom.
You remember when in 2016 their celebration is like boom right there?
Okay.
It was the crotch boom,
This is
baby.
the thing.
No,
We
it's an
instantly
absolute
knew it.
thing. And in 2015, what do? We put our hands on our heads, right? So we had like a tradition every year. Anything to do with that region means that the Cubs are going to win.
Nice.
So I'm all for fake testicles.
Okay. Poll question, are you for fake testicles?
Yeah, we don't have any poll questions yet today, do we, Josh?
We have many.
Oh, we do?
Yes.
I missed all of them.
Okay.
You'll have to tell me about them.
I kind of do that. Whenever I'm on the microphone, it just seems like there's a
You're
bevy
locked in.
of
You need to be a little locked in more than normal.
Yeah.
What was the question? I'm not locked
I don't
in.
know. Let's get to number two.
two on the hot
Yeah.
news.
This sounds like a man after Matt McMaster's own heart. A New York man may have earned a Guinness World Record by playing golf for 36 consecutive hours.
Oh, my hero.
A guy with a name I won't even try to pronounce, from Long Island, who is originally from Nigeria, hit the links at the Huntington Crescent Club at 6 p.m. Sunday with the intention of playing the game for 24 hours, the minimum goal set by Guinness to originate the title for longest marathon of golf. His plans abruptly changed halfway through his attempt when he was told that a man just completed an attempt that went 32 hours.
Oh, my God.
So he said, okay, we got to keep going and do 36. He finished it up, and the feat is now being reviewed by the fine folks at Guinness.
36 hours of golf. That sounds like hell.
What are you talking about?
Dude, I'd be so sore. You wouldn't be really sore by the end of that?
I'm kind of distracted by the fact that there's a Lars Nootbaar jersey right in front of us right now.
I was wondering what you were pointing at.
That guy's got a Lars Nootbaar jersey.
Yeah, I don't understand the reference.
That's like he's a very niche baseball player.
Yeah.
Like it
not
would be
a star, not an Aaron Judge.
It would be like the let
Ohtani.
me give you a comparison here. It would be like getting a Janirin Bonner jersey.
Okay, that would be strange.
Yeah,
that would be
talk
like
football, too.
wow, that's a Janirin Bonner.
All right,
It's like a
Thank you for
Nootbaar.
making it football for me.
No,
Now
you're
I
very no.
understand.
I
Yeah.
know how to speak Josh Peterson
Yes,
after
you
2
do.
hours of being on the air with you.
And you also didn't go, oh, you know the Lars Nootbaar.
No,
Yeah,
I am
why
not.
am
I'm
I
not
gonna
going to gatekeep like you don't know. People have different slants. By the way,
sports show.
so 36 hours actually is personal hell. Like after
Yes, thank you.
after like 6 hours of golf,
I don't want to play more than one round of
I
golf
get
consecutively.
because you play some here in Omaha. You play some long rounds. There's
Oh,
some
yeah.
slow
Oh, yeah.
golfers
because of people like me, and I apologize for that.
And so it's like after like 5.5, I'm kind of sitting there being like, damn. Like
Yeah, you're ready to go home.
I'm ready to get off the
you
course.
can feel the sheen of the sweat, and it like.
But then my
Oh.
biggest thing is I don't like to smell. Like if I smell myself,
Your hand, you just smell your glove hand.
No.
You're like,
yeah.
But it's like the pits too. So it's like after 5 hours, I start smelling them, and I'm like, I need to take a shower.
Yeah,
like
so
I
imagine
start,
after 36.
stinky boy.
Yeah,
It's a
very
stinky boy.
Yeah, hopefully that person took a shower.
Yes.
Koozies? Anybody want a koozie?
Last story, a wedding
There you go. Take some
photographer.
koozies. There you go, boys.
It could be a complicated
Beautiful.
business.
There you go.
One time, a post on Reddit explained a photographer on the way to capture the groom's party getting ready in the hotel room before the ceremony.
Yeah.
Well, he followed the wrong guy and went into the hotel room with him and started snapping pictures.
Excellent.
How do you think the gentleman reacted?
Oh,
he probably kicked his butt.
It's like when Russillo's key opened the wrong hotel room in Wyoming.
Always comes back to the
We
Bill
got-
Simmons podcast.
we were going down the road in Ocopoco, and I don't like that road.
Wow.
I don't like that road at all.
Don't want to go down that road.
We got it. That's how I feel about Paul
That's-
George and the 76ers.
That's incredible, Josh.
Well, yeah, the guy said, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Yeah,
They
understandably so.
They got it sorted out, but then he had to go back to the bride and groom and say, "I don't have those pictures you requested."
Oh.
So it was doubly bad.
Could he
but-
not call the groom and be like, "Hey, where is your actual room?" I feel like there are ways around. And what did the groom?
No, what if the other guy who was getting photos? Like, why
I'm
are
not
you
worried. I'm
allowing
past.
this to
I'm past
happen?
that. Well, that's a great question.
I don't
How
think
many
it lasted
pictures were
very long.
Yeah, I mean, if the guy was following me and came into the room, I'd be like, "Yo, what are
Like,
you
how about
doing?"
this? So
here?
I not, and this is not putting.
This has happened to you
this is
before?
not- no. This is not putting the Locked On podcast on Front Street. But
Sure.
yesterday, I fired it up, Connor Happer, Mitch Sherman, and I'm like, I feel like I heard this conversation yesterday. And sure enough, it literally was. So I texted Happer. I got just a few minutes in, and I realized that. That's not somebody taking photos of me.
That's a good
though.
point.
So
Now,
I immediately would be like, I think you might be in the wrong room.
I listened to a episode of the Low Post podcast.
Nice, that low.
Like
Bill Simmons.
this was back in like 2022, and like I listened to a 2019 episode, and it took me like 15 minutes to be like, Kyrie's on the Nets now.
Yeah,
what do
they're
we?
like, man,
what do
can
we?
Kawhi Leonard win a title
Yeah.
for Toronto?
I was like, wait, they're talking about the cap ceiling
We
of
haven't
Golden
had a
State. They've
pandemic in
already-
100
That's
years.
the joke I was gonna make.
I was about to
Yeah.
say. So it was like it took me a good 15 though, where they're like, yeah,
So
I
maybe
mean,
you would have been the guy to say, keep taking my photo.
you know
for
what?
some reason.
After a certain point, I would be like, if you want, I don't have good photos
You
of
want me to
myself.
pose?
No, I have terrible photos of myself. So I'd be like, if you're not charging, I will just kind of be fancy here for 2 seconds.
Incredible. Thanks for the odd news.
Thank you, gentlemen.
This special edition Zone Hotline today is powered by the Sedora Law Group. Your outcome depends on what you do next. You can text us at 402-951-1620 or stop by. Come by the Zone booth inside of the OBV for some chewy granola bars from Sunbelt Bakery. Sunbelt Bakery chewy granola bars, tastiest flavors under the sun. 40 minutes left, and it starts next here on 1620 The Zone. Josh Peterson and Matt McMaster on this special edition of the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com, and zonetv.live. We're also hanging out on the YouTube page today, and that's because StreamYard works, which is awesome. We're getting ready for Coastal Carolina and Arizona. We'll talk about the Men's College World Series in just a few moments. Pre-game for that with John, Gary, and Happer will begin in 40 minutes. First pitch just after 1 o'clock, and today we are powered by KRT Athletic Muscle Cream, providing increased performance to people who suffer from muscle fatigue and cramps, and by Cross Train Brewing, Nebraska fresh and always evolving. And we will always remind you to come by the Zone booth at the bullpen inside of the Omaha Baseball Village. Register to win a 1620 The Zone prize pack of KC Royals porch tickets and ice cream for a year from Ted and Wally's 13th and Mike Fahey. We had a great friend of 1620 The Zone stop by in the 11 o'clock hour, introduced himself, took a photo of us.
Oh, yes.
Remember that guy? That guy was super nice. Thanks to him for stopping by.
He's the
You
best.
can stop by. We're happy to take photos.
We talk to everybody.
I'll talk to you.
I'll talk to.
Yeah.
I got a question real quick.
Yeah?
Is that Ferris wheel going to start moving at some point?
It
or is
does.
that for decoration?
It moves.
Now, I will say this. Because I was in the stadium yesterday for an extended period of time.
Sure.
The Ferris wheel looks great from the stadium. Like, it actually, it makes the stadium look better.
Yeah.
Okay? Because there's not a building or a skyline.
And that was something that people were very critical of, is why didn't the ballpark face this way? It faces that way.
The Sox Park, south side of Chicago, if you literally just turned it 70 degrees,
it would look cool.
You would see downtown Chicago.
Yeah, meanwhile,
which is like you see Gary, Indiana.
Yeah, I've been to that ballpark one time, didn't have a good time. It was very hot.
How boring is it? It is the most boring.
Meanwhile, Wrigley's fun.
Yeah, for like once a year.
Okay, well, for people who've never been but one time, they think it's fun.
Oh, they think it's I
think it's fun. I went one time.
But I'm trying to educate you, Josh,
What are you trying to say?
that if you go 20 times a year, it's a smelly concrete small concourse.
To be fair,
hole that is way too expensive
smelly.
to really go to.
It's a baseball stadium.
No, but it is especially
It's extra
smelly.
stinky?
Like it smells like ivy
It smells
and
like you
BO.
after 36 hours of golf.
Exactly.
Nice. Hey, before we get back into things, we wanted to give a huge shout-out to friend of 1620,
Yes.
Jack Mitchell. He is doing his walk of shame today, and he has had a goal of hitting $10,000 at klin.com/walk, because if he did, that meant that there would be a match, which would actually push the total past $20,000, and he just hit that number.
Awesome.
So you can go donate today, klin.com/walk. There's a donate link. It will take you to the Morning Hope Grief Center. Jack has told the story before about losing his father just now over a decade ago. He just hit the 10-year anniversary of that. And so this organization helps with people who have lost a loved one near and dear to Jack's heart. And he'll be still walking around Lincoln, I think, for another 5 hours today.
Crazy, man.
So he has many more miles to go. But if you can donate, if you can throw a few bucks his way, please do. klin.com/walk. Congrats to Jack on that.
Absolutely
very
incredible.
cool. Very, very cool. Let's see. Joe in Vegas tweets in, Matt.
Yes.
He calls me Mr. Football now.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Football emoji, corn emoji.
Okay.
10 years ago was right where Matt is. Now, Matt, you know what the measuring stick is. Great show, boys. Matt, you're sitting next to the learning tree. Am I the learning tree, Matt?
We will get a hashtag PCA MVP for sure. Thank you, my man. He's wearing the Javi Baez jersey.
Am I the learning tree, Matt?
Am I looking at my future?
Is that a poll question? Is Matt looking at his future?
Am I looking at what I'm going to become?
Poll question, is that bad? I don't know if you want to be me. Charlie says,
I want to grow your beard. You got a good beard. Like, I'm trying.
So I think yours is better. I got the patchy stuff
Well,
going.
I'm Latin, so it kind of comes in a little bit better. Like, the color is nice. I do have a little bit red in my beard, though.
I got a lot of red in my
Well,
beard.
you just have a lot of red
When
in
I
general.
grew mine out for the first time,
Even
I
your
was like,
skin is a little red.
yeah, well, I've been running outside.
I know.
Got to get that tan going.
Me too. See, you get your tan by doing exercise and fitness. I get my tan by spending about $90 playing golf.
Hey, you're still out there, though.
It's a good. I
It's
know,
not like
but
my
yours
shoes.
is way cheaper.
Well, that's true. That's definitely true. Charlie says, should we get Matt's takes on the 2001 World Series? Any thoughts on Yankees, Diamondbacks, the greatest World Series of all time? The young Kim, Scott Brocious,
No.
Derek Jeter becoming Mr. November?
I do have a lot of thoughts, though, on the 2001 Chicago Bears. I
remember that team, 13-3, and then they lost to the Eagles.
It was a good team.
Mike Brown, 2 pick sixes in a row to win the game.
So Mike Brown is like the quintessential holy crap good jersey in Chicago Bears lore.
Really?
Like whenever anyone's got a Brown jersey on,
they know
you're
what's
like,
up.
oh my God. Because
they had the patch on the jerseys that year, too.
GSH. So look.
No, not that one.
Oh,
They had
a different one?
It was like a Soldier Field anniversary.
Oh, yeah. So the thing with Mike Brown is that Mike Brown wasn't like he's not in the Bears Ring of Honor.
What?
Right?
That's disgusting.
But I don't think he is. He's not. Okay, let me put it this way. He's not on the level of Singletary or Hampton or Urlacher.
Sure.
Or but he definitely is in like the tier 2, tier 3 of oh God.
Really, really
like
good.
anytime you say Mike Brown, people immediately go, oh.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that Soldier Field patch on
Mike
that
Brown's
jersey.
Awesome. So anytime there's like a 30 jersey,
yeah,
people are like, oh, it's
they know ball. If you see a 30 Chicago Bears jersey, I'd say you know ball.
You know ball.
Yeah.
It's
because it's like everyone can get an Urlacher jersey, even though Urlacher sucks. Anyone can get a Walter Payton jersey. If I see somebody rocking a Mike Brown jersey, I know that they know what's up.
1,000,000%.
Plus, you can probably drop a GBR, and they might know what to say back.
So I recently found out, not recently, being a couple of years ago, but I was like,
nice.
I was like, man, Husker, hell yeah.
You just learned that
a couple years ago,
Matt.
Josh.
It said it on the graphic. College, Nebraska.
Josh, I was 5 years old.
Okay, I'm trying to think of players when I became a Cowboys fan. I knew Emmitt Smith went to Florida. Troy Aikman went to Oklahoma and UCLA.
I know that.
Mike Irvin went to Miami.
That Brian Urlacher went to New Mexico.
Yeah,
okay, I was aware that Devin Hester went to Miami.
Yeah,
I was
sure.
fully
but not Mike
aware.
Brown.
No, because he was a
5-year-old. You didn't know ball.
He was right before I gained consciousness.
Yeah, you were just a little too young.
I was a little too young.
I guess that's
but
fair.
I know that if you ask my father about Mike Brown, he immediately moans and is like, oh.
Moans?
Well, he just remembers good football.
Poll question, does your father moan? Nice. Let's see. Katie writes, in 15 years, Matt's football team won't be any better either, so I could see this trajectory happening.
Who tweeted that?
That was KD. Crap, are you and me am I looking into the past and you're looking into your future?
I hope
pain and sadness.
I hope Caleb Williams breaks through.
Hey, but you know what this means, Matt? It means that the Bears are going to have 3 consecutive 12-win seasons.
You don't understand what I would do.
You
would trade 3, for that? I've talked about this before, but I would cut off my pinky.
Yeah?
For
a 12-win season?
For a Bears to make the Super Bowl. Not to even win the Super Bowl.
I don't know what I would do for the Cowboys.
I would cut off.
Just to make it? And then you see what happens
take
after
the wheel.
that? Wow.
Because I feel like a whole Super Bowl,
yeah,
that'd be a lot. I would have to give up more.
Well, hey, get ready for this. So if you're going to have 3 consecutive 12-win seasons, who do you hate the most in the division? Packers? Is Packers, right?
By far.
Congrats on them winning the Super Bowl with the tush push. Just get ready. That's your new future.
I don't like anybody in my division.
No, me neither.
But that's kind of rare for you and me. I don't think every division hates every. Do
you hate everyone in the AFC South?
I don't think you give a damn, Josh.
You do? You hate everything? That's awesome. But I bet that there are people who I think that you're right on that, where it's I dislike them, but I don't hate
I don't
them.
know. I don't know if
we're in 2 old school divisions though,
where it's
old school rivalries.
Does everybody in the NFC West hate each other? Do the Rams really hate the Cardinals all that much?
I don't know. People might look at them and say, don't really care about you. The
but
other 3 definitely hate each other.
I think and I've learned from Gary, I do think the AFC West,
that is also a very old school, and the AFC North. So maybe half the divisions in football.
Half. Is the NFC East? Is the AFC East in that combo?
Well,
I don't think they are.
How do people feel about the Dolphins, right?
I don't think they give a damn.
Yeah, but people hate the Bills and the Jets and the Patriots.
Those 3 have their own little conglomerate.
Yeah. And obviously the Patriots. It's funny. You do this 30 years ago, nobody would hate the Patriots.
But ask Michael Severe. Does he hate the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that much?
He hates the Falcons.
Well,
despises the Falcons.
Well,
don't know how he feels about.
Does he care about Carolina?
I mean, no offense, but who would?
Really does?
Yeah,
well, Austin Jacobson.
Yeah, and Happer. And I have a sister-in-law.
That's a joke.
My sister-in-law, she is a diehard Panthers fan, and she was very sad.
Happer
when
makes
they
fun of the Bears, and I get mad at him because he doesn't have skin in the game.
Should Happer not be allowed to make fun of the Bears because he has no skin in the game?
I just don't.
It's an interesting question.
I don't think you should funny. Okay, you can he eggs me on though, where I'm like, you don't understand the equity put into this.
Yeah, you have years
in terms of the NFL.
Correct, because he's just doing
football.
fantasy garbage and red zone. I triggered a Boston Celtics fan when they were getting blown out in Game 6 against the Knicks.
That's easy.
But I tweeted about him, and he was like, you better not be doing this as a Cowboys fan. I'm like, first of all, different sports.
You can't do that.
Yeah, I'm allowed to make fun of and enjoy the pain of every team.
I just feel like the East Coast, there's a lot of mental midgets over there when it comes to sport fans in terms of like getting offended.
They're
really easily.
They're tired.
From what?
From staying up late watching sports.
I don't give a damn.
I'm just saying they're sleepy.
What do you think about West Coast times in sports? West Coast times.
Oh, it's the best.
I am not.
I wish I lived on the West Coast.
I don't think I'd enjoy.
And did this show though. I don't want to leave 1620. I just want to live in the Pacific time zone.
I don't think I would enjoy a 9 a.m. kickoff.
Oh, dude, it rocks. Have you done it? Don't knock it till you
I've
try
done
it.
the 10 a.m. kickoff
for NFL,
and I wasn't really a fan. And people
really.
Well, people are like, "Oh my God, you have the rest of the day ahead of you." But like,
do you still sleep in though?
What?
You do a morning show now. Do you sleep in on the weekends? What time do you wake up on a Saturday?
Okay, so let me tell you. So on a Sunday, Sundays are my sacred day. Okay. I wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning. All right. I go to the grocery.
That's your version of sleeping in now, right?
Even when I was in college, I'd always wake up.
Wow.
Well, I have to go to the grocery store and I make a roast. Right. So I do
every Sunday.
Every Sunday, ribs, pork butt, maybe do a spaghetti bolognese that takes about 5.5 hours.
Wow, you're working hard on a day off.
Well, it's my comfort. It's like my therapy. It's just like I make good food and I watch. So, but here's the thing: if I had a 10 a.m. kickoff, I can't do.
You could at 6 a.m.
Hell no! I ain't waking up that early.
Yeah, you might though.
9 a.m. No, I couldn't do a 9 a.m. And by the way, too, so everybody goes, well, you have the rest of the day in front of you. Well, when the Bears lose, I don't want the rest of the day in front of me. I want the rest of the day to end probably as quickly as possible.
So my argument for why I like it is that now I can't sleep in anymore, and so it's just fun to get to football earlier.
Earlier?
Yeah.
You think you're waiting around a little bit too much?
Well, I've been waiting all day for Sunday night. You know?
Well, see, I'm not I like Monday night.
It's a primetime fight. I like
the
Monday night.
best of pick up.
Yep.
Hey Jack, it's a fact.
See, we know the song.
Does she still do the custom? She used to do custom words though.
She does. She goes in there and they pay her, I think, $1 million a game.
I think she's like an NFC West battle, and I was
maybe.
like, hell yeah.
It might be even more.
I don't know.
That.
I thought that there was a time that she stopped doing the custom words.
No,
and she never took a break from that.
Let's see. I'm trying to figure
that woman
out.
hasn't aged.
She gets paid $1 million each week.
No way.
So she makes $18 million plus the playoffs as well.
That's got to be like what, an 3-day shoot?
Yeah, seriously.
So she gets
how badass is that?
$18 million
just for a few days.
For a few days?
Yeah.
She's got to be like on the per hour scale.
Yeah,
up
she's
there
doing
with like Cristiano Ronaldo.
Nice. A tweet before we go to break. Andrew says West Coast time zone is great for sports on weekends, but during the week, sports start during the workday, so that sucks.
See, I do have a problem with I start prepping for the show at a certain time at night.
Yeah.
And I have friends on the West Coast.
Yeah.
And by the time they're off work and ready to talk,
yeah,
I am fully delved in deep into watching my sports.
But what about this though? If you were on the West Coast and you did a morning show, wouldn't have to stay up as late?
No, that'd be great.
That'd be sweet on weeknights for you?
No.
Sunday Night Football for you would end at 8:30.
From a morning show perspective, like when the Super Bowl this year, it's always at 5 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
Super Bowl ends 8 o'clock.
You're like, wow, this is amazing.
You
like that every week for
but
you.
I like that at the night. I don't like that in the beginning.
So you'd be okay with it at night, but not in the morning.
Not
Too early for the start, but you'd love the early finish.
I think 11 a.m. kickoff is the perfect time.
It is good. Central is way, at the very least, we can agree. Eastern is the worst.
I could not live on the East Coast.
Seriously, if I was a morning show host on the East Coast, I would be miserable because I'd want to stay up, but I also want my sleep.
How do you do a show?
I don't know. That's
because
why
I stay up because I feel like it is my duty.
Sure.
To watch the full.
You're saluting.
No, it is.
Matt stands up and salutes his television.
Look, I ain't half-assing anything. All right, I'm not. I can't just watch the highlights, and then be like, oh, I'm going to give you in-depth analysis from the 7 minutes I've watched on YouTube.
Sure.
Right, I got to watch at least
Yeah, you gotta watch.
90% of the game.
Yeah.
I couldn't host a morning show in the East Coast. I don't know how Mad Dog did it.
Sounds absolutely terrible. A reminder that the special edition Zone Hotline is powered by the Sedoro Law Group. Your outcome depends on what you do next. And come by the Zone booth inside of the Omaha Baseball Village. Register to win ice cream for a year from Ted Wally's. Ted and Wally's, official ice cream of 1620 The Zone, celebrating more than 35 years with over 3,000 flavors. Benson in the Old Market, Omaha. We'll talk some Men's College World Series when we return. Get you ready for game one of it all. Next, Josh Peterson, Matt McMaster, and Josh Hodson here. Jimmy Chavez back at the Zone studio on 1620 The Zone. 1620 The Zone is powered by KRT Athletic Muscle Cream, providing increased performance to people who suffer from muscle fatigue and cramps, and by Cross-Train Brewing, Nebraska fresh and always evolving. And a reminder that Country Fest is back at OBV 1 week from today. OBV welcomes Walker Montgomery and special guests Casey Johnson, Kimberly Meyer to the Beer Garden stage. This is an all-ages show. Get your tickets at OmahaBaseballVillage.com. Josh Peterson, Matt McMaster. We got Josh Schatz in here. We got Jimmy Chavez back in our Palatial Zone studios on this special edition of the Connor Happer Show. Your guy Jimmy's been hanging out a lot today. You two have been grinding away over the last few hours.
Hanging out. He did the Connor Happer Show a couple days ago. Jimmy's just on grind.
He's doing great work, and
we're just like the morning show. Just a bunch of grinders.
Just a bunch of grinders. And he was probably listening to that football conversation earlier thinking, wow, it's depressing being a Cowboys fan, but at least I remember the 90s.
That's
which I don't.
Which he
I
does
don't
have that over you,
Yeah.
which I do remind
I remember 1997, but 97 was bad. They were 6-6, and then the Packers beat them by 100.
Because he tries to tell me that I have it better than him, and I have to remind him, you've seen your team win Super Bowls.
Correct. Yeah, he dedefinitely has it better than you.
Super Bowls.
Yeah, now, the more interesting debate, as we had earlier, is you and me. Yeah, but not so much Jimmy.
Who had a worse November last year?
Oh,
Josh Peterson or Matt McMaster?
It was a rough November for all parties involved.
It was.
Remember
bad.
Thanksgiving?
For me, we ran out the clock. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that's why I asked you if you remembered.
I worked that game.
Wow.
So I came.
That was right before you started working with us.
So I was working that game with the ESPN or the Chicago Bears affiliate, ESPN 1000 Chicago.
Happy Thanksgiving to Matt McMaster.
My brother's wife, who's actually now
my brother's wife,
who's actually now in labor. So
congrats!
Good luck to Sarah.
Wow,
she's progressing right now, so all prayers up. She
shout out.
Nothing to do with sports. Doesn't really care about sports.
Okay.
Gets a text from her brother who's into sports. She goes, "Hey," her brother Samuel goes, "Hey Sarah, the Bears lost. Just warning you, Matt's going to be in a really, really bad mood." And
were you?
I walked through the door, and everyone goes, "Matt!" And very, very famously go, "Hey," and I just walked to the family room, and I just sat down.
It was a tough loss.
Well, you got to get to work like 4 hours early, and so it's an early morning.
And then they lose in horrifying fashion.
There couldn't have been a worse. The amount of jumping up and down that was going on in the studio from a bunch of professional humans saying, "Time out, time out." It's ridiculous. I don't want to talk about it.
All right, well, let's move on to the Men's College World Series because it begins in earnest in less than an hour. Coastal Carolina and Arizona. Pregame's going to start in 15 minutes, and first pitch probably in about 40 minutes from now. Big picture, Matt, this is your first Men's College World Series working here at the Zone. Seems like, I would say, a good field for you in iteration number one, just given that we got a lot of different conferences. We got some fun stories. We got the Davids. We got the Goliaths. Last year, we had the teams, but this year I think it's more interesting from the storyline perspective.
I couldn't agree more. And it couldn't be more appropriate in this time of college athletics that you have 8 teams from 7 different conferences.
7 different leagues.
By the way, 3 of them were all in the same conference together.
Yeah, so in a way, the Pac-12, RIP.
Well, the Pac-12,
RIP, as the kids say.
When it comes to baseball, though, I'm still going to UCLA is still a Pac-12 team to me.
It's so funny. We talked about this, Austin and I did, how if UCLA wins, no one is going to give credit to the Big Ten.
Well, so we talked about this on the morning show today. I feel like Tony Petitti should come down here. And just,
of course he should.
He should come down here and be like,
he's probably in hiding.
We are so proud of UCLA. We are so proud of
lean into it.
No, even if it's wrong to claim them, right?
It's not wrong. They're in there.
Well,
if Texas were to win a championship, the SEC would claim it.
But that's a little – Texas feels – okay.
I know. We talked about this the other day.
Texas,
it's so funny.
Texas is more similar.
Yeah,
it fits the mold of Texas is a Big 12 team. I'm not saying that Texas is an SEC team, guys. Don't get mad. But they fit the mold more of
course they do.
Big 12 the SEC as opposed to UCLA being in the Big 10.
You're right, though, about Petitti, and yet we probably won't see him.
We won't see him, but he should lean into it. Even if we disagree with him, he should sit down here. He should get on the microphone, whether it be here or somewhere else, and say, we are so happy for UCLA. We are so proud of our new members. They're representing us well. This is exactly why We brought them into the Big Ten because we knew that they could diversify our accomplishments across sports and across the country.
100%.
We are not just, and for anyone who says UCLA isn't a Big Ten team because they're in the Midwest, the Big Ten isn't a Midwestern conference anymore. We are a national conference.
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to do that? I hope so. Because
I'd be surprised.
We are Big Ten people, and that would be even if people disagree with it.
Yeah,
just go ahead and do it.
I'd very much be surprised if that happened. And UCLA, of course, they will be game 1 tomorrow versus Murray State. We got Coastal Carolina and Arizona coming up in a little bit. Oregon State, Louisville tonight, and the only game that we have not mentioned is
Hogs, baby. Go
Arkansas,
Hogs.
LSU. That game tomorrow night is going to be wonderful, an incredible atmosphere here in Omaha, and we'll be a part of the coverage. We'll do the same show tomorrow from 10 until 12:40.
Do the same exact show. Same words,
show. We're actually just going to re-air it
for the next 10 days.
Wow, it's a Friday.
Whoa,
what a way to go into the
Coastal
weekend.
Carolina's playing.
By the way, feel free to send in your One Beer Friday photos. I'm happy to retweet
Are we doing
them.
One Beer Friday today?
I will be doing a One Beer Friday after this show.
Okay.
So, yeah.
We will be doing a One Beer
We
Friday.
will be doing a One Beer Friday. And then apparently we got a gift that we have to go pick up.
We have so many gifts, and we have to go to Dingerville.
We have to
go and talk to our very good friend Jeff Hardy.
That's where we'll be having the One Beer Friday. We will come back and wrap up this show, get you ready for the baseball. And if you want to text us a One Beer Friday, you can do so on the Special Zone Hotline powered by the Sedora Law Group. Your outcome depends on what you do next. And a reminder, the hydration sponsor is Coke Zero Sugar. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Take a taste. Josh, Matt, Josh, Jimmy, we'll finish up the show next here on 1620 The Zone.
gear. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, dude.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Welcome back. As we are wrapping up here at the Omaha Baseball Village, a special edition of the Connor Happer Show in 1620 The Zone is powered by KRT Athletic Muscle Cream, providing increased performance to people who suffer from muscle fatigue and cramps, and by Cross Train Brewing, Nebraska Fresh and always evolving. We appreciate everyone for joining us. We have just a few minutes left in this edition of the Connor Happer Show, and then later on a special edition of the Grum on Sportsmanlike Conduct with Matt, myself, Josh Otson will be here, and I think Jake is going to be our guy back in the Zone studios.
Is he? I haven't looked yet. Yeah, I think you're
we'll
right.
We'll find
yeah.
out later on, though. I saw his parents earlier, and I think they said that Jake will be our producer later. But before that,
Don't want to blow his cover.
Yeah. Shout out to Jake's parents. Hey, look, it's one of our co-workers, Heather.
Hi, Heather.
With a Sunbelt Bakery fan.
Nice. Josh, right now, I'm a fan of you because you are going to let us know about traffic.
I am.
And injuries.
Now, this I could get used to.
Yeah.
Traffic presented by Park Omaha today. Make a plan for your parking. Learn more about parking in advance at parkomaha.com. New traffic flow to the series this year. 13th Street by the stadium here will be closed 2 hours before the first game of the day and will remain closed until the end of the second game. So they're sort of expanding that zone of road closures around the stadium to 13th Street this year. If you're trying to get in right now, Cumming Street backed up to about 30th, and it'll be bit of a jaunt, but
backed up to where?
30th
Street.
That's what the front of my face says.
Until it's back now. Currently,
yes.
He's doing report for this in time.
So patience, game plan. Learn more about parking in advance at parkomaha.com.
Before you get to the injury report, that reminds me that my exit is 13th when I leave the ballpark. I have to have a new game plan for leaving today.
Yes, I believe if I'm not the best at directions. If you are coming from the north, they will let you get on to 480. Is that 480?
Sure.
They will, but that's as far north as you can go.
Crap, I'm gonna have to take Cumming Street all the way.
Well,
I'm
going.
Yeah,
to
and that's where
Cumming
you live.
30th.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'll be doing as well. All right,
Carpool?
so that's that. Nice. So that's what we got going on there. What else do we have, Josh?
We have an injury report brought to you by KRT Athletic Muscle Cream, providing increased performance to people who suffer from muscle fatigue and cramps. Everybody looking good today. No practice session injuries. Nothing that's changed from last weekend's Super Regionals for all four teams competing today.
All right. Thank you very much, Josh.
Yes.
Let's get to the poll questions before we wrap up the show. A few of them went up. Do you have a favorite distance to run besides 0? Obviously, I am going to vote yes on that
Me
one.
too.
You said 8. I said 17. 71.8% of our audience says no.
Yeah,
Very
that's
sad.
the right answer. No.
Very sad.
You weirdos.
Do you want to peak in life at the age of 4?
No.
I think it's not bad at all.
Matt says yes. Everyone else says no. 82.9% is the everybody else in that category. Who talks to more high schoolers? Matt says that Sipple talks to them more than you do.
Currently, yes.
I'm going to go with Sipple as well because I'm hoping that you don't talk to high schoolers. It is exactly 50-50.
Whoa.
That is incredible.
It's the whole, he's young thing.
Very weird question out of context. I apologize.
It's all good. Is Matt
doesn't look good for me.
Is Matt looking at his future? This is a reference to Joe in Vegas who says that when KD said it, when you look at me, this is your future.
Yes.
Yikes. We'll say yes. Another 50-50 poll there. Wow. Is that bad?
I was about to say, I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult.
No, that's the next poll
That was
question.
the
Is that
next
bad?
one. I'm going to go yes.
Yes.
72.2%. And then finally, does your father moan? I'm going to click no. And 58.1% agrees. All right. Those are the poll questions.
Good show.
Great show. Had a good time. We'll be back again later on for a special edition of Unsportsmanlike Conduct ahead of Oregon State and Louisville. But before then, Coastal Carolina and Arizona begin the 2025 Men's College World Series, the 75th time that it has been played here in Omaha. They got a diamond on the field. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
They put a diamond in the field.
Diamonds!
It's going to be really, really cool. Looking forward to that.
Like a
John
diamond.
Bishop, Gary Sharp, Connor Happer. They'll have the coverage for you pregame just about to begin. Coaches' interviews, keys to the game, and a whole lot more. Matt and I back in between, and we'll get you ready for Oregon State and Louisville, plus like 8 topics that we didn't even get a chance to talk about today. We'll do all that, yes. And that's what you want us to talk about with the hashtag Topic Alert. For Matt, for Odson, for Jimmy back in our studio, I'm Josh. Thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy the baseball. We will talk to you in a few hours right here on 1620 The Zone.
Hell yeah.